This is Atomic Shinobi and today I'm going to narrate first part of what if Naruto found Zabuza's secret hideout in waves. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe to this channel. Now wasting no more time, let's start the story.
Naruto saw Haku's body drop to the floor. Gazing at the now dead girl, Naruto fell to his knees. What made her do that? Naruto pondered. Why? Naruto roared, surrounded by bubbles of red chakra. The sudden burst of chakra caused the mist to completely disappear. As a clawed hand composed of red chakra sprang towards him, Naruto extended his hand in Zabuza's direction. Naruto approached Zabuza and Kakashi and said in a demonic voice, "Did you know that Haku loved you?" Zabuza was burning from the red chakra. "Naruto, please calm down," Kakashi commanded. A man said, "Chase, so you failed again, Zabuza." Behind a group of men, Naruto noticed a short, obese man. Naruto saw the man look down at Haku. "All I regret is that I couldn't kill that brat." When Naruto dropped Zabuza, who was severely burned by chakra, he said, "That was the wrong thing to say." Naruto began to approach the men. Zabuza gripped his back and angrily remarked, "You clear a path and I will get Gato." Blood was dripping onto the ground, as Naruto could see. As a tail of chakra developed behind him, Naruto fell to his knees and uttered, "I think I can do that." Gato frantically screamed, "Kill them," as Zabuza began to sprint in his direction. Naruto commanded, "Duck," as a dense, malevolent chakra began to form before him. Just as Zabuza leapt out of the way, Naruto bit into it and launched an attack that vaporized half of the men. Zabuza began to approach Gato, and Gato began to retreat. Naruto looked at the thug's other half. As he witnessed one of them toss a spear that struck Zabuza's chest, Naruto sternly commanded, "Leave now before I kill you too." Naruto disappeared and then resurfaced in front of the assailant. As he tore out the man's throat, Naruto remarked, "Bad move." Abruptly, Naruto was surrounded by threatening waves of chakra arms. The men began clambering onto the boats from the bridge. Naruto turned just in time to witness Zabuza instantly kill Gato by driving a kunai deep into his heart. The seal began to absorb the red chakra once more. As he watched Zabuza tumble backward, Naruto thought, "Damn, that was tiring." With lightning speed, Naruto emerged behind Zabuza and captured him. "Naruto," Zabuza turned to face the boy, "I am not much longer for this world." He continued. He coughed up blood and trailed off. "I am leaving," he started to say, "leaving you everything in my hideout." "It is in a cave, Abu," but was interrupted by another bloody cough. He coughed once more. "It's about 12 kilometers to the south-east." He coughed as he concluded, "As very noticeable, you will know the cave. Go in 12 meters, then go left 20 meters, then go right for 15 meters. You will find a tunnel, take it," he continued with a cough. He coughed once more. "It will lead to my hideout. Everything is yours now." Haku, as the life left his eyes, he trailed off. Haku knew we weren't going to live, so she took a storage scroll out. "That will be perfect to seal everything. Awa." Kakashi remarked, "Naruto, this is the way of the shinobi. This will be a pivotal moment for Naruto. Will he continue to be a shinobi or will he give up?" Kakashi was shocked when Naruto said, "Unfortunately, this hasn't been the first time I have killed. I had killed an assassin that was sent to kill me, but..." As Naruto nodded, Kakashi remarked, "But this is the first time you have seen a friend die." Kakashi went on to say, "You might never get over it." As Kakashi nodded behind Naruto, Naruto questioned, "Is that why you stare at the memory stone?" Despite his inability to feel his legs, Naruto tried to stand. With some concern, Naruto uttered, "I can't stand." "Naruto, we will need to think of a cover for what you did," Kakashi responded. As he assisted Naruto in standing, Kakashi added, "Sakura saw a lot of what you did." Naruto uttered the words, "I got an idea. It was a forbidden jutsu that I learned when I stole the forbidden scroll." Naruto replied. As he escorted Naruto to Sakura, Sasuke, and Tazuna, Kakashi remarked, "Naruto, good idea." Naruto remarked, "My skin feels like it is burning." Kakashi clarified, "That would be because that chakra literally burns human skin. But it also increases your regenerative powers exponentially." Kakashi continued. As they arrived at Sakura, who was currently bandaging Sasuke, Naruto exclaimed, "Oh." Naruto was placed beside Sasuke by Kakashi. Sakura questioned, "Naruto, what was that out there?" "A forbidden jutsu I learned from the forbidden scroll when I was tricked into stealing it." Naruto told the truth easily. Kakashi explained more about it to me while we walked over. "What turns my chakra red is actually my blood. It mixes with the chakra, giving off that red hue." It increases my regenerative powers a lot, healing me faster than I was getting hurt. Naruto clarified. I am the only one able to use it because of my natural regenerative powers. Naruto continued. Kakashi went on to say, and it uses an extreme amount of chakra. He is suffering from severe chakra exhaustion that would cripple a normal shinobi for about 2 weeks. And with Naruto's natural healing powers he should be fine in 2 maybe 3 days. Kakashi stated. Sakura began to examine Naruto, hoping to see his flawless skin, and asked, "Why must you do insane things, Naruto?" When she didn't hear back, she noticed Naruto was unconscious. Naruto had lain in bed for 2 days. After the first day, claiming to be fine, he had tried to get up. However, Sakura's fist knocked him out. He was exhausted and resting on wires infused with chakra when he woke up. Naruto was allowed to walk around today as long as he vowed not to train. Kakashi concurred and watched Naruto leave the house after Naruto had vowed not to train, keeping his shinobi word. His entire body ached. As he made his way to the bridge, Naruto exclaimed, "Geez, it isn't like I always train." As Naruto reached the bridge, he thought, "Now let's see." Zabuza said that the cave was 12 kilometers from the bridge to the south. While he, Kakashi, and Sasuke were supposed to be sleeping, he noticed Sakura guarding the bridge. Looking at the sun, Naruto thought, "Okay, which way is southeast?" Naruto eventually determined the general direction and headed in that direction after a few seconds. As Naruto turned his aching shoulders, he reflected, well, Sasuke will be out of commission for a while. After an hour of walking, he reached a cliff wall and discovered a massive cave entrance with a perfectly level boulder outside. As he made his way to it, Naruto thought, that must be it. As he began to take long steps into the cave, Naruto thought, okay, so 12 meters straight. Naruto turned left and took 20 steps, thinking, turn left, then go 20 meters. As he turned right and traveled the distance, Naruto thought, now right 15 meters. From the outside, he could not have seen the dimly lit tunnel. After entering the tunnel, Naruto continued walking for a few minutes until he reached a sizable cavern. He thought the scrolls in the hundreds of bookcases were jutsu scrolls. Naruto approached the central table in the room. Beside a stack of scrolls, he noticed a letter. He took the letter in his hands. Dear Naruto, Zabuza told you about the cave, and if you are reading this, it means that my vision has come true and that we are both dead. Scrolls about ninjutsu, taijutsu, kenjutsu, genjutsu, and fuinjutsu are kept in every bookcase but one. The only one without jutsu scrolls is filled with scrolls about history and herbs. The barrels of kunai and shuriken, which are located in the corner, are included with the scrolls. There is a katana on one of the walls that neither Zabuza nor I could use. I recall Zabuza stating that the blade could only be wielded by an Uzumaki. Perhaps you ought to try using it. Oh, and you are welcome to keep all of my toxins and healing salve products. They are properly labeled. Avoid blending them. That ought to be it. Admire Haku. By the way, I'm a girl. A black-bladed katana with a dark indigo sheath in a glass case was hanging on the wall as Naruto read the letter. PSS, there is something at the entrance to this room that will help you hold all the scrolls. Naruto thought, wow, that is really lovely, and he went to open the case. When he put his hand around the handle, he experienced a brief tingling sensation that quickly subsided. As Naruto put the weapon in its sheath, he thought, that was weird. Naruto examined every bookcase. He noticed that the 5 elemental symbols were marked on the tops of the bookcases. There are 2 bookcases for every symbol. Naruto put a scroll on the floor in front of a bookcase and pushed chakra into it, thinking, those must be ninjutsu scrolls. Before vanishing entirely into the scroll, smoke began to swirl around the bookcase. As he kept the bookcases sealed, Naruto thought, this will be easier. To distinguish between the bookcases, he wrote a 1 or 2 on the element scrolls. He quickly closed the bookcases and put the scrolls back on the table while he began to close the barrels of kunai and shuriken. Looking around the room, Naruto thought, I should be set with throwing weapons for a while. He noticed something at the room's entrance. As Naruto approached the tunnel, he noticed a dark cloak dangling from the wall. Naruto touched it with his hand. As Naruto removed it from the hook and draped it over his shoulders, he thought, it is softer than silk. As it settled around him, it made no sound and was incredibly light as well. He saw that the cloak was sewn with pockets on the inside. As Naruto approached the table and began putting the scrolls in his pockets, he thought, cool. Naruto soon left the chamber, which was now largely deserted, and proceeded through the tunnel. Naruto's voice reverberated throughout the cave as he exclaimed, oh man, I don't know how long I have been gone. He left the cave in a short amount of time. Without hesitation, he turned toward Tazuna's house and retraced his steps to the bridge. He returned to the house in a short time. By the time he arrived home, it was getting dark. As Naruto entered, he thought, Sakura won't be happy. He narrowly avoided a blow to the head. Sakura yelled, Baka, do you realize how late it is? As she attempted to strike him once more, but Naruto sidestepped her blow. Stop trying to hit me! Naruto frantically screamed as he ducked around the enraged girl. Kakashi said idly as Sakura tried to strike him again, Sakura, stop it. Naruto questioned, is this how you treat an injured person? Sakura muttered, I bet you were training. Naruto replied, no, I went for a walk and lost track of time. Naruto brushed past her and said, plus I promised not to train, so I didn't train. Naruto grinned and stated, I will be training tomorrow. Sakura gave Naruto a headshake. As Sakura put it, I bet you will nearly kill yourself training. Naruto gave a shrug. Naruto stated, good possibility. Oh Kakashi. Sensei, when I fought Haku with my shadow clones something weird happened, Naruto replied. Is he attempting to master the shadow clone jutsu? I asked myself, Kakashi said, what is it? I sent clones out in all directions and Haku destroyed them all. I was able to remember what they did and what they saw, said Naruto. Kakashi remarked, oh, so you finally noticed. The shadow clone jutsu is special because not only is it tangible but has a chakra network. The original person gains all the memories of the clones. What would take someone 12 hours could take someone 6 hours to do with one clone helping, Kakashi stated. Really? Inquired Naruto. Yeah, but not many people can use this training technique effectively because of the mental strain it has. Kakashi continued. Kakashi pointedly informed Naruto, only someone of special circumstances can do this training. Shadow clones can't do physical training, he continued. Naruto grinned and said, cool, maybe I can try this training later. Oh, and Kakashi. Sensei, do you know my elemental affinity? Naruto replied. Well, not really. Kakashi acknowledged. Kakashi informed him, I left the element cards at the village. Yawning, Naruto remarked, okay. Naruto said as he turned to leave, I think I am going to bed. Kakashi and Sakura watched Naruto leave. Sakura inquired, where do you think he got that cloak? Simply put, Kakashi stated, I think it was a gift. Kakashi went on, we should wait for him to say where he got it. The following day, Naruto had risen early. Before breakfast, he wanted to spend some time training. Before leaving, he had left a note for Tsunami on the counter. He found a small clearing and walked the short distance to it. What should I work on, As he extracted the scrolls and opened every bookcase, Naruto pondered. Naruto took 3 Fuinjutsu scrolls, 1 Taijutsu scroll, 1 Kenjutsu scroll, and 1 Ninjutsu scroll from each bookcase. He also discovered chakra control exercises. As he resealed every bookcase, Naruto thought, this should be enough for a morning exercise. As he crossed his fingers, Naruto thought, come on, I need 160 clones. Naruto cried out, Shadow Clone Jutsu, as 320 clones materialized. Alright, Naruto thought, not exactly what I was looking for. In his mind, Naruto added, but it is okay, as he divided the clones to perform the training. Using his chakra, Naruto ascended a tree to a branch and performed upside down sit-ups, which improved both his physical strength and his ability to control his chakra. He also observed his clones as they worked on the different tasks. Naruto had been performing sit-ups for 2 hours in a row when he noticed Sakura approaching. Naruto collapsed to the ground after releasing the chakra that was holding him to the tree. As he dispelled all the clones, he flipped at the last second and landed on his feet. He swayed under the newfound knowledge, but he cleared it by shaking his head. When he turned, Sakura was approaching him. Sakura called out, hey Naruto. As Naruto turned to face her and fell to the ground, flipping his hood hand up onto his head. When Sakura stopped in front of Naruto, he said, hey Sakura. Naruto said, how can I help you? Sakura said, you are strong, right? While Naruto nodded. Is there any way you could help me grow stronger? Naruto responded, sure. Naruto informed her, but first you need to increase your chakra reserves. Sakura inquired, how did you increase your chakra so much? Naruto told her, that is a secret. Naruto informed her, but I do know ways that will increase your chakra reserves. What you have to do is empty your chakra reserves and let them refill. She was told by Naruto. Sakura inquired, how should I do that? Naruto proposed, you can use chakra to climb the tree until you are unable to do so anymore. That should be enough to drain your chakra. Sakura inquired, how long can you do that kind of training? Naruto shocked her by saying, I would say about 2 maybe 3 days before I got my second wind. My chakra reserves are massive, you will most likely never get the amount of chakra I hold now. Naruto continued. Sakura questioned, are you insulting me? Naruto responded, no, I am just stating a fact. She was shocked when Naruto told her, not even the Hokage has as much chakra as I do. Asked Kakashi. Sensei, no one in Konoha can create as many shadow clones as I can. Most Chunin can make 1 or 2 powerful clones while I can create hundreds of clones at least Chunin level chakra capacities. Naruto clarified for her. Sakura exclaimed, wow. Naruto told her, so pick a tree and climb it. As she approached a tree, she said, okay. Naruto crossed his fingers, created 320 clones, and gave them specific tasks to perform as he ascended the tree next to Sakura's, reached a branch, and attached his hands to the branch with his chakra. Oh, and if you need a sparring partner, I will make you a few clones to fight. He began to hang 50 feet in the air and perform pull-ups. Sakura ran up the tree beside him while he spent 2 hours doing this. After letting go of his chakra, he collapsed to the ground and landed on his feet. Naruto yelled, Sakura, at her. Sakura landed beside her and said, Ya Naruto? As he noticed her panting, Naruto said, why don't you take a break? Sakura replied, nah, I can go a few more times. As he created shadow clones, Naruto questioned, how about sparring? That way you are still training but you are giving your chakra coils a rest. Working this much could break your chakra coils. Naruto stated. Sakura inquired, how do you know that? Naruto informed her, I have had cracks in my chakra coils. Then Naruto added, it hurt like hell. Naruto informed her, alright, these clones will attack you one by one. Naruto told her plainly as he began to run, but just to warn you they may disengage and another will attack from a different direction. I will be going for a run. When he noticed a building in the middle of the forest, he ran around for an additional hour. That's strange, Naruto thought as he cautiously made his way to the building and peered through a window to see the 2 thugs who had tried to kidnap Tsunami and Inari. 20 other thugs were gathered around them. As one of the thugs put it, once those Konoha shinobi leave, we will run over the village again. Yeah, and without that weird shinobi that killed half of us without blinking an eye it will be easy. Someone else replied. Without looking where he was going, Naruto began to slowly back up and collided with a person. His sentence was interrupted when Naruto slashed out, slicing his katana through his throat. He fell to the ground, clutching his neck. What are you do? He asked. As Naruto created a clone and pulled the deceased man away, he thought, shit. The dead man had been hanged by the clone. Naruto jumped away after hiding the man in a hole. Sakura was beside Naruto when he dispelled the clones in a big cloud of smoke. As he processed all the information, Naruto said, Sakura, come with me. Without hesitation, he turned and bounded off in the direction of Tezuna's home. Sakura said, what is it, Naruto? As they jumped from branch to branch, Naruto informed her, some thugs stayed back. Naruto informed her, I left a clone to act as a guard I took out. As they touched down in front of the house, Naruto informed her, once we have a plan, I will dispel the clone so I know the routines of the people. Naruto entered and made his way over to Kakashi. Kakashi said, Naruto, what is wrong? Naruto nodded and said, some of the thugs didn't take my threat seriously. Kakashi remarked, I figured a few wouldn't. I have a clone take the place of someone I took out after I found the place. Naruto informed him. Kakashi inquired, how did you take him out? While Naruto remained quiet, I thought so. I don't like to kill but it would have been too hard to lug him all the way to where Sakura was and then here, Naruto replied. Kakashi remarked, I know I have had to do that too. Sakura questioned, Naruto, how can you kill so heartlessly? As Naruto put it to her, I could tell you but I don't think you would like the answer. When Sakura nodded, Naruto said, after I tell you, do you think you can handle it? You might not want to be a shinobi after I tell you? She was looking horrified when Naruto said, I turn my heart off to all emotions when I kill. While Kakashi nodded, Naruto said to Sakura, I know it is cruel but it is the way of a shinobi. Kakashi. Sensei does it too. The only thing that separates shinobi from murders is the fact that we do things for the greater good of the village. Naruto continued. Naruto remarked, I remember my first kill. Sakura nodded as Naruto asked, do you remember that week and a half I didn't come to school? I had killed someone who tried to kill me. You were 9. Cried Sakura. Naruto gave a nod. Naruto told her, I was so grief-stricken, until the old man told me something. Sakura questioned, what was it? Naruto informed her, I can't tell you until you get your first kill. He turned to Kakashi and said, or else you won't get what I tell you. Naruto questioned, what are we going to do, Kakashi? Sensei. Naruto stated, you are still incapacitated, along with Sasuke. Kakashi said, come up with a plan and run it by me. I won't be able to help for a week and we have to go back in 3 days. Kakashi stated. Naruto replied, okay, I will be thinking about it. Now it's just Sakura and me. Naruto reflected. In the confusion, some could escape and gather followers, but I could just rush the building. As he left, Naruto reflected, we will need to take a decisive action. As she followed, Naruto said, Sakura, come on. She questioned, Naruto, what are you thinking about? Naruto stated, a plan for taking them all out at once. Sakura remarked, you could rush them with shadow clones. I thought of that, but in the chaos a few might be able to escape and gather followers. Naruto replied. Naruto went on, we would be doing nothing. As they arrived at the clearing, Naruto put a seal on the ground and poured chakra into it, telling her, while we train I will set a few clones aside to discuss plans. Sakura was startled when a bookcase appeared. In this bookcase is about 200 scrolls on different taijutsu styles. Naruto stated to her. As he unlocked more bookcases and spread out more seals, Naruto gave the command, find one you like and practice it. He took some new scrolls and put the ones he had taken back. He closed all the bookshelves. Sakura questioned, Naruto, where did you get all these? Naruto told her plainly, Zabuza told me about his hideout before he died. Before creating more clones, Naruto informed her, that is where I got this cloak and all the scrolls. He put some aside and told them to make plans for what to do. Naruto's neck cracked. Naruto created more clones and declared, now to spar. At the moment, Naruto was protecting himself from his clones. While Naruto dodged the blows, sparks were flying everywhere. He was attacked, and he struck the clone so severely that it dispersed. As another clone attacked, he kicked out, scattering that one as well. Naruto quickly removed the set of clones from the scene. After stretching, Naruto created a large number of clones and ordered them to attack him simultaneously. Naruto, who had multiple cuts and bruises that healed quickly, found it difficult to keep up with the large number of clones for a while. However, he quickly discovered a pattern and began eliminating clones one by one. He increased his speed gradually until Naruto's arm was a blur of motion all around him. Naruto was surrounded by a cloud of smoke. As he expertly slashed another clone to death, Naruto thought, I'm going to need to get weights. The clones were receiving fewer hits than they had at the beginning. Naruto's skill set was expanding rapidly. He gets hit less frequently with each clone he defeats. None of them could hit him by the time he completed the final clone. Sweat. Soaked, Naruto removed his coat and cloak to reveal a metal mesh shirt underneath. Sakura turned to stare at Naruto. Having ceased her practice of the taijutsu she was learning, beneath the shirt, she could see his muscles flex. Inner Sakura couldn't even speak. How in the hell did Naruto acquire such muscularity? Sakura shook her head, thinking. Sakura thought again, what am I thinking? I love Sasuke-kun. But take a look at that physique, it resembles a god, Inner Sakura cried out. I'm not paying attention. As Inner Sakura continued to talk endlessly about Naruto, Sakura pondered. Sakura called out, Naruto, I need a sparring partner. As he created several clones for her, Naruto said, okay. While the clones approached, Naruto assured her, don't worry, they will just use taijutsu. As she began to battle the clones, she said, thanks. Naruto shook his head, thinking, that was strange. I thought I saw her staring at me. Naruto sat down and closed his eyes, thinking, too bad I don't have a crush on her. The mindscape of Naruto drip, drip, drip. What is that? When Naruto opened his eyes and realized he was no longer in the forest, he thought. He noticed pipes running everywhere when he looked at the ceiling. He wasn't getting wet, even though the ground was soaked. As Naruto noticed light streaming from a room, he thought, this place is strange. Before heading for the door, Naruto pondered, perhaps there is someone inside. Upon entering the room, Naruto noticed a sizable cage with the kanji seal on the door. Two red, slitted eyes opened for him. A voice from inside the cage said, so you have come. Once more, the voice said, it took you long enough. The voice approached the cage gate and said, I mean you woke me up 3 years ago. Naruto questioned, what are you? After noticing tails twirling behind the creature. Kyubi explained to Naruto, why I am the so feared 9-tailed demon fox Kyubi no Kitsune. Do not fret human, I am not a demon that they have said. None of the tailed beasts are. We are what the people of your world calls summons. The 9 most powerful ones. I am the queen. Naruto narrowed his eyes and questioned, if you aren't a demon then why did you attack Konoha? Kyuubi informed him, I attacked because I was forced to. Naruto appeared perplexed, so she added, both times. The first time I attacked I was forced to in the battle between Madara Uchiha and Hashirama Senju your Shoden Hokage. Madara Uchiha used his Mangekyo Sharingan to control me. But Hashirama Senju's wood-release jutsus were able to weaken me enough for his wife Mito Senju to seal me into herself, making her the first Jinchuriki of myself. Herself and I were friends. But then she was dying and the humans feared that I would attack again so they pulled my soul out of her and sealed me into Kushina Uzumaki my second Jinchuriki. She found love and had a son. That son became my third and hopefully last Jinchuriki. Naruto inquired, you know my parents? Yes I do. Kyuubi replied to him, they were great people. Kushina died a while after I was forced out of her by Madara Uchiha. Then I was forced to attack Konoha but Minato Namikaze was able to seal me into you cancelling the control Madara had over me. Kyuubi clarified. Kyuubi continued, now I am back to my cheery self. Naruto questioned, why aren't you angry about being sealed? Because once I was sealed into Mito Senju I knew that I was destined to die eventually. Kyuubi stated to Naruto. Every time I am unsealed and resealed a little part of me is left behind in the previous Jinchuriki. Eventually nothing would be left of me but pure chakra. Kyuubi clarified. My mind would be erased and nothing would be left but a mindless beast. Naruto exclaimed, wow. As Naruto put it, well, I guess chances are you won't be unsealed. Kyuubi told him, I hope so but you will never know. The best that I could do is prepare you for what is to come. She continued. As a seal appeared on the water in front of Naruto, Kyuubi stated, first of all is that you need to place this seal onto your cloak. That cloak of yours is made of chakra-conducting metals. The chakra circulates through the cloak and into you now but with this seal it will block the chakra to go back into yourself. She clarified. Kyuubi informed him, as the cloak gains chakra, it gains weight. Before sending him out of his subconscious with a blast of her power, Kyuubi told him, now you should go back your teammate just finished the last clone. Actual world just as Sakura defeated the final clone, Naruto shattered open an eye. Naruto inquired, how was the sparring? As Naruto nodded, Sakura remarked, they were fine. Sakura remarked, I thought you had fallen asleep. Naruto told her, I didn't. I was just meditating. Naruto inquired, how long have I been out for? Sakura stated, nearly 3 hours. As he scattered all the clones, Naruto uttered the words, okay. He observed that the mental strain he experienced decreased with each session of this kind of training. Naruto remarked, looks like the clones had a plan. Then spent 3.5 hours playing rock, paper, scissors, he added in his mind. As Naruto described it to her, Sakura questioned, oh that is good what is it? Sakura praised Naruto, saying, wow, that is amazing. Grinning, Naruto said, thank you. Naruto grinned at her and said, come on, let's get back, it's almost time for lunch. He smiled and added, plus you look like you are about to drop from exhaustion. With a sarcastic tone, Sakura said, gee sorry, I don't have your unlimited energy. Sakura and Naruto had been strengthening themselves for 2 days in a row. As Kyuubi advised, Naruto had attached that seal to his cloak, and as he poured more chakra into it, the cloak did grow heavier. He was able to attack with greater strength and speed as a result. Sakura had demonstrated exceptional skill in cultivating her chakra reserve and in the taijutsu techniques she had chosen, which employed punches and kicks infused with chakra. Now, Naruto was proficient in 30 ninjutsu, 20 seals, 3 kenjutsu styles, 2 taijutsu styles, and a number of chakra control techniques. Naruto informed her, Sakura, we will have to strike tonight. We leave tomorrow and they still haven't figured out that my clone took that guy's place. Naruto continued. As darkness began to fall, Sakura said, okay Naruto. After removing all of the chakra from his cloak, Naruto said, come on, follow me. They arrived at the fort in no time. Naruto told her, just as it began to rain, okay, remember that I am the main distraction while you go in and incapacitate all the people in there. As he flipped the hood up, Naruto grinned and remarked, oh, this just got better. Sakura muttered, what do you mean Naruto? Before making his way to the front of the fort, Naruto muttered, you will see. His hand signals began to flash. Naruto yelled, water style, water dragon jutsu, as the rain formed a massive water dragon and smashed into the building, causing it to tremble. To find out who had attacked their fort, people began to flee into the darkness. As he felt and heard the people hurrying by, Naruto closed his eyes. Naruto held off on opening his eyes until he sensed the final path. Naruto pivoted. Many people questioned, who attacked us? They all turned to see two cerulean blue eyes staring at them, and Naruto said, I did. One of the thugs demanded, who are you? As they reached for the blade, but Naruto slashed him across the chest, causing him to fall. With a menacing tone, Naruto closed his eyes and said, to you, you can call me Death. He then vanished entirely. Naruto began to move around the thugs, striking them with quick but powerful blows. They hurt like hell, but none of them were deadly. Before long, everyone was lying on the ground in agony, except for the two leaders. Before they could react, Naruto moved and whispered into one of their ears, do you think you two can last against me? One of them said, what is this person? Naruto whispered into the other person's ear, like I said I am death to you. Then, causing the man to scream in agony, he stabbed him in the thigh with his katana. With haste, Naruto pulled it back and stabbed the other in the arm. Naruto said, looks like you two aren't that impressive. He appeared behind them, with blood oozing from a cut on their backs and chests. As a man flew out the window and landed in the mud, Naruto sheathed his katana. Sakura was furious when Naruto turned to look at her. As the man moaned in agony, Naruto knelt beside him and asked, did you say or do something perverted? As the man's groan of agony grew louder, Naruto repeated, did she kick you where the sun doesn't shine? Unsheathing his katana, Naruto used the butt of the hilt to knock the man unconscious. Naruto recalled all the times he used the sexy jutsu in front of Sakura and got punched through a wall. Never do something perverted to a kunoichi. Naruto shook his head, thinking, I should consider myself lucky I am a friend, as he glanced down at the man. He moved in the direction of the fort and waited. A man was cut down by Naruto's katana as he attempted to flee. Before Sakura came dragging two men down the stairs, he repeated this 3 more times. As Sakura threw the 2 unconscious men onto the pile Naruto had removed, she remarked, not many stayed in here. Sakura inquired, how many did you beat? Naruto informed her, I took out 20.1 men outside and these 3 in here. He began tying the men up after taking out some ninja wire. Naruto remarked, well, this isn't good. What is wrong? Inquired Sakura. Naruto remarked, only 20 men were outside that I tied up. According to Sakura, that isn't good. Sakura inquired, can we track him down? Naruto informed her, not in the slightest. As Naruto created clones to transport the thugs to the village jail, he explained, this rain is coming down too hard, the tracks would be erased within a few seconds. Sakura said, oh, do you think they will be back? Naruto informed her, no, I believe they believed I was an apparition, but I think it is a matter of time until they figure out I am not a part of this country. Naruto continued. Sakura followed Naruto back to the house and asked, do you think they will try and take over? Sakura was informed by Naruto, I don't know that. As they entered the house, Naruto added, it could happen. How did it go? Inquired Kakashi. He heard Naruto say, one escaped. Kakashi was perplexed when Naruto said, but that may be a good thing. They thought I was a specter, protecting the wave country. Naruto continued. Kakashi nodded and remarked, so they will spread the rumor of a ghost protecting them. The two nodded and went to their rooms after he said, well, you two get some rest, we are leaving tomorrow. As he glanced around and took out the small orange book, Kakashi thought, those two are getting stronger together. I hope Sasuke will join them. She straddled his Y. He was reading when a ladle flew into the room from the kitchen, knocking him unconscious. As Tsunami went to get her spoon, she asked herself, how many times do I have to tell that pervert not to read those in the house? After getting it, she made her way back to the kitchen. Due to the continued injuries of Kakashi and Sasuke, Team 7 took an additional 2 days to return. On the way back, Sakura hardly gave Sasuke any attention. Mostly, she made jokes with Naruto. As they made their way to Konoha, Naruto was actually becoming quieter. On the way back, he was now always wearing the hood. They could only make out Naruto's blue eyes in specific lighting conditions and the slight shadow cast by his jaw. Even Kakashi wouldn't be able to detect him at night because he would completely disappear into the shadows. Sakura and Sasuke were curious about the whereabouts of the loudmouth they were paired with. Sakura and Sasuke talked about Naruto, who was walking a few yards ahead with Kakashi, who was reading his book, during the final portion of the trip back. Sakura whispered to Sasuke, Sasuke, what is happening to Naruto? Sasuke said, I don't know Sasuke. He might have been impacted when he killed all of those people. Sakura looked at their now mostly silent teammate, whose cloak flapped in the wind to reveal new black ninja pants, and said, I doubt that. He has killed before. She added, shocking Sasuke, I think it was the shock of seeing someone close to him die up close. Sasuke added, But he only knew Haku for a day though. That could be it. That may be true, but there is something about Naruto that allows him to make friends really easily. Sakura responded. It could take an hour and Naruto could be friends with someone who gives him a chance, she continued. Why in hell isn't he paying attention to us? Screamed inner Sakura. Sakura had to acknowledge that she had failed to catch his eye. With Kakashi and Naruto they're talking about me again, was Naruto's statement. Kakashi added, that is because you are changing Naruto. You are not being loud anymore. Naruto stated plainly, well, if I am always loud, I will be killed. As he started reading his book again, Kakashi remarked, that is true. The final 2 hours of the journey were silent, with Sakura and Sasuke looking at Naruto while Kakashi read his book and Naruto examined a new seal. What is that? Kakashi inquired. As he continued to gaze at a particular spot on the seal, Naruto said, it is a new storage seal that I already know. I want to see if I can make some changes to it to make it more effective. Naruto told him, so far I really can't think of a change. How are you able to see while examining that seal so closely? Kakashi inquired. Without taking his eyes off the scroll, Naruto explained to Kakashi, I gain the memory of one clone every 5 minutes. He pointed to a flock of birds in the sky and watched as one of the birds disappeared in a puff of smoke. Shadow clones hanged into birds. You read scrolls all the time. Where did you get them? Kakashi inquired. Kakashi looked at the sealing scroll and his eyes widened as Naruto said, simply, Zabuza gave them to me. Once we are home I am going to organize the scrolls by difficulty. Naruto added, his eyes widening, if I move this marking towards the left a little while twisting this one to the right and making this one straight, it will become 20% more efficient. As he quickly recovered and covered his shock, Kakashi thought, that is a very advanced storage seal. As he pocketed the storage seal and took out an elemental seal, Naruto said, okay, time to work on the next seal. He unrolled the seal and gazed at it, thinking, this scroll is used by placing it on the handle of a kunai and channeling chakra into it. I have 5 seconds to throw it before it ignites. If I can increase the intensity of the flame and the duration, that would be perfect. What are you working on right now? Kakashi inquired. An elemental seal that you place on a kunai. Naruto informed him, I am trying to increase the intensity of the flame and the duration. It ignites after 5 seconds. I also want to find a way to increase or decrease the time it takes to activate it, Naruto explained, adding, like having it make its own oxygen to have a constant burn until the chakra runs out. As he read his book, Kakashi thought, Naruto is getting really strong and fast. The 4 of them could make out the gate in the distance. Okay everyone, we will report in with the Hokage, then Sasuke and I will go to the hospital to get checked out. Kakashi said with a nod. Sakura, Naruto, you two might get another Chunin to do missions with until I am at my fullest. Kakashi stated to them. Sakura nodded, and Naruto said, okay. Kakashi went on, let's go everyone, we don't want to be late. Are you aware that technically this mission was supposed to be completed a week ago? As Kakashi started to perspire, Naruto inquired. As they entered the gates, Kakashi said simply, things change. Sakura and Sasuke were on his right, while Naruto was on his left. While everyone was staring at the recently returned team, few people noticed a strand of bright blonde hair. Must you wear the hood up in the village? Kakashi posed a serious question. After a long period of silence, Naruto blurted out, yup. Do you have to wear that mask over your mouth all the time? Naruto inquired. Kakashi said, yup. The team came to a halt, and Naruto said, plus this cloak is awesome, check this out. He backed into a shadow, leaving only his eyes visible, and said, now you see me. He closed his eyes, adding, now you don't. He then walked back out after opening his eyes. According to Kakashi, that is fancy, but that wouldn't work in deserts. Naruto informed Kakashi, I am actually working on a seal that changes the color of my cloak. Why don't you purchase additional cloaks in various hues? Kakashi inquired. Are you aware of the high cost of producing one of these cloaks? Naruto inquired. What are you saying? Kakashi inquired as they began to move. Naruto informed him, this is made entirely of chakra conducting wire. Millions of ryo would be needed to make enough cloaks in all those colors. When they arrived at the Hokage Tower, Kakashi said, I guess you would be right. They quickly made their way to the Hokage office to report the mission, and after knocking on the door and waiting a few minutes for permission to enter, the 4 of them entered to find Sarutobi behind several stacks of documents. How was the mission? Ah, welcome back Team 7, Sarutobi said. Did he ask? It was a success. Kakashi added, Zabuza and his accomplice are dead. We were able to protect the bridge builder. Sakura and Naruto did a side mission after he found a few of the thugs had stayed back. All but one of them were apprehended. It was also all Naruto's plan, Kakashi continued. Really, that is interesting. Sarutobi replied. Okay, I want a written report on this side mission tomorrow when you come here for missions. Hokage. Sama, Sasuke and I are incapable of doing missions, Kakashi stated to Sarutobi. Sakura and Naruto should be able to do simple missions with the help of a substitute Chunin. Sensei. Kakashi continued. The four nodded and Sarutobi said, I will think about it. You are dismissed. They then went outside and ran into Team 8. Kakashi said, Hello Kurenai, Hinata, Kiba, Shino. The two teams exchanged glances. Hello. Sasuke, Sakura, and Kakashi. Who are you? What happened to you guys? We haven't seen Team 7 on the mission roster for D-ranked missions for nearly 3 weeks, Kurenai said, smiling, trying to peer into the cowl of the cloak but only seeing two piercing blue eyes staring at her. Ah, and Naruto? Kurenai inquired. Kakashi informed her, that is because we went on a C-ranked mission turned A-ranked. We ran into Zabuza Momoichi the S-ranked missing.nin. What? Kiba shouted. Yup, and Naruto and Sakura here did a C-ranked mission on the side of getting rid of a few thugs that threatened the town we were staying at, Kakashi replied. Oh, Naruto.kun is so strong, Hinata thought, looking shyly at her crush. I wonder if I have the courage to ask him to train with me. Hinata thought again. N. Naruto.kun. W. Would Y.ul. L. Like T.T.tot. Train W. With M.M.mes. Some T. T. Time? Hinata inquired, attracting Naruto's attention. Hinata stumbled softly. Naruto told the blushing girl, sure Hinata. Chan, anytime you want you can train with me. Maybe if she spends time with me she will come out of her shell, he thought, grinning at the girl, who blushed even more. Sorry Hinata, I have to go. Naruto said, now that he realized his team had abandoned him. Hinata's heart was racing, so she called after her crush, oh. Okay and Naruto.kun. As Hinata fell to the ground, Kurenai remarked, Hinata. Chan, nice to see you found the courage to spend some alone time with Naruto. Kiba was giggling, and he asked, Kiba, who was that girl I saw you flirting with? Kurenai inquired as Kiba's laughter abruptly stopped. Nobody. He spoke rapidly as Shino arched an eyebrow. Kiba addressed his male teammate, saying, don't raise your eyebrow at me like that. Kurenai picked Hinata up and entered Sarutobi's office. Alongside Naruto, what did Hinata-chan want, Naruto? Sakura inquired. As they strolled together, Naruto said to Sakura, she just wanted to ask if I wanted to train with her. Oh, so you and she went on a date? Sakura inquired as Naruto reddened. Naruto responded, no, it is training. Who else is invited? Sakura inquired. Naruto stated, it is up to Hinata-chan. She probably wouldn't want anyone else to attend, Sakura pondered. We ought to inform Ino. Pig, exclaimed inner Sakura. Sakura said, hey Naruto, I have to go. To inform Ino that I will be training with Hinata-chan? Sakura came to a complete stop as Naruto asked. Sakura rambled, no, of course not, no I wouldn't do that. Before leaving Sakura, Naruto said, all right. Ask Ino if she can get me some lavender seeds. Am I that predictable? Sakura asked herself as she made her way to Ino's family's flower shop, where she entered and found Ino working behind the counter. Oh hey Sakura. Ino said, how may I be of assistance to you? She inquired. When Sakura said, oh hey Ino. Where have you been? Did Ino ask. Oh we just got back from a C-ranked mission turned A-ranked. Sakura responded. We had to fight versus a really powerful shinobi and Zabuza Momoichi the demon of the mist. Sakura responded. Naruto has been growing in strength, she continued. Ino remarked, not as strong as Sasuke.kun. Sakura remarked, to be honest, I don't know about that. I witnessed him kill more than 30 men without even blinking. He used a jutsu so powerful I could see chakra around him. He then launched an attack that vaporized them. He could also manipulate the chakra with beyond expert control. Ino was told by Sakura. Sakura shivered as she recalled what had happened. He launched a chakra arm at Zabuza and captured him and pierced his back with one of the hand's claws. It was really scary. As Ino gazed at Sakura, Sakura concluded, the chakra felt evil. Where would he learn that type of jutsu? Asked Ino. He said he learned it from the Forbidden Scroll Mizuki tricked Naruto into stealing. Ino was told by Sakura. Oh, in more pressing matters I think Naruto might like Hinata-chan. No way. Ino yelled, utterly disregarding their earlier exchange. Give me details. Well, Hinata. Shan asked him to stay behind and they talked for a few minutes, Ino was told by Sakura. When he came back, I asked him what Hinata asked, and he told me she just wanted to know if they could train together. I then asked if anyone else could be invited, but he told me it was up to Hinata. Shan. Sakura continued. And I think he stopped crushing on me. Ino questioned, why do you think that? Sakura informed Ino, he stopped calling me Sakura. Shan. Sakura continued, and he started to call Hinata Hinata. Shan. Ino squealed. No way. Ino thought aloud, perhaps with a little encouragement they would become a couple. Sakura cautioned, I don't think you should meddle with Naruto. She went on to say, Naruto has changed during the mission. He might not take it nicely that you are meddling around. Ino questioned, like what could he do? Naruto screamed as he emerged from the shadows and said, I could scare the life out of you. Naruto left after saying, I just came to remind Sakura that I need those lavender seeds. Ino's hand was tightly gripping her chest. Ino questioned, where the hell did he learn that? As Inoichi left, Sakura remarked, I don't know, but he can make himself so unnoticeable not even Kakashi Sensei could sense him. Inoichi asked, you girls okay? As he nodded and moved into the back, she said, yeah dad, we are fine. Naruto just scared us. Ino inquired, Sakura, where did he get that cloak? Sakura informed Ino, he got it from Zabuza. Supposedly he told Naruto where his hideout was and Naruto went there 2 days after recovering from that jutsu. He came back wearing that cloak. She continued. Sakura informed Ino, along with a lot of scrolls and who knows what else. Ino questioned, do you think we could follow Naruto? And spy on them? As he entered the store and startled the girls once more, Naruto said, please don't spy on me. I just came to tell Sakura that I got a lead on who out temporary sensei will be. Who is it? Inquired Sakura. Naruto uttered, Anko Mitarashi. As he walked back out, Naruto said, whatever you do, don't be late. Ino said, I wonder what that was about. Inoichi walked out and asked, what is about? Oh, Naruto just told Sakura who their temporary sensei is. Ino replied. She said, do you know Anko Mitarashi? As Inoichi let go of the vase he was carrying. Inoichi remarked, she is eccentric. I have seen training grounds, or what is left of them after her and Naruto have a casual spar. Inoichi stated to her. Inoichi cleaned up his mess and told her, there is one thing she doesn't tolerate and that is tardiness. I suggest getting to the training ground early. Sakura said, a little uneasy, I think I need to go, and walked out. Ino reprimanded, that was mean father. With seriousness, Inoichi stated, I wasn't lying. He told Ino plainly, there is a reason she is in the Anbu interrogation unit. Before departing Ino, he added, a reason I cannot tell. As soon as Naruto entered the training area, he ducked under a fist. She heard Naruto smirk as he said, you will have to be faster than that Anko.ne. Chan. Naruto went on, you are too predictable. He felt a sharp object press against his back, and a voice behind him said, oh yeah? Anko felt a sharp pain in her back as Naruto burst into a cloud of smoke. As he sheathed the katana, Naruto whispered into her ear, yeah, you are predictable. Before embracing him, Anko looked around and said, you have gotten better, brat. Naruto smirked and said, can't let people see you have a soft side? She said menacingly, no one will ever know I have a soft side, got it? While Naruto shrugged. Abruptly, she threw Naruto to the ground and used her legs to put him in a headlock. Say, uncle. Naruto gasped as Anko increased the pressure, nay, veer. Naruto crossed his finger, and she watched. As Anko attempted to induce Naruto to faint, Naruto struggled to say, Sha, Dao, clone, Jutsu. In an attempt to remove Anko from the real Naruto, the clones put her in a headlock. Sakura discovered the pair in this manner. Anko fought to escape, saying, I am not let ting go till you say, uncle. Naruto screamed, Ak, as Anko pressed harder against his neck. Naruto cried, I will, nay, veer, say, that. Say, it, cried Anko. Naruto screamed, nay, Ak. After a loud crack caused the clones to scatter and Anko to grin savagely. Say it, she shouted out. No, retorted Naruto. Sakura called out, ahem. To get their attention, aren't we supposed to be training Anko, sensei? We will when Naru. Shan says uncle. Anko grinned as she shifted them into a more perverted, compromising position. Anko shouted, Naru. Shan say uncle. As Sakura flushed at their location. He gasped, don't, Call me that. As he crossed his fingers, he added, and I will never say uncle. As she shifted positions and locked his arms behind him to prevent him from using the shadow clone jutsu once more, Anko said, I will stop calling you Naru. Chan if you say uncle, Naru. Chan. Say it Naru. Chan. Naruto screamed, fine uncle, as Anko applied more force to him. And, she cried out. As Anko let him go, Naruto cried out, and you are the most beautiful kunoichi alive and men worship the ground you walk on. Crazy bitch. Naruto muttered his words. With a smile, Anko said, what was that? According to Naruto, nothing nay, Chan. With a sadistic smile, Anko said, okay, you two, we are going to do a little test so I can see your abilities. Anko declared, each of you will spar with me, Naru. Naruto interrupted her, saying, I don't think that would be fair Anko. Nay. Chan. Naruto told her bluntly, first, if I were to fight you first, Sakura wouldn't have anyone to fight. A narrowed Anko asked, what makes you so sure you will win? Naruto narrowed his eyes and said, who was put in the hospital the last time we spared? The only reason you weren't in the hospital too is because you healed too damn fast, said Anko. Simply put, Naruto said, details. Anko stated, fine Sakura will come first. Naruto said, Anko, please be gentle with her, she doesn't heal as fast as I do. Anko declared, I will try not to break anything. Sakura said feebly, try? Don't worry, Sakura. Naruto grinned and said. Naruto went on to say, Anko is just playing tricks on you. Anko said sadistically, maybe a little. Naruto gave him a very effective glare in return. Okay fine, I will be on the defensive. I won't hit her back. Anko replied. Naruto said, see she won't hit you. Hopefully, Naruto mentally added. Sakura said, a little uneasy, okay. She assumed the stance she had learned in taijutsu on the mission to wave. She rushed toward Anko. Naruto observed Anko snatching Sakura by the wrist and throwing her. Naruto gave him a forehead slap. As Naruto watched Sakura strike the ground forcefully, he thought, I forgot about throws. Sakura found it difficult to stand. To be thrown again, she charged. This continued for several more minutes until Anko put an end to it. Anko informed Sakura, you were good, but you still need some help with aerial spins. She turned to Naruto, who was stretching, and said, now for the main event. As they stood apart, Naruto said to Anko, just to warn you I am a lot better since the last time we fought. As the two lowered themselves into taijutsu stances, Anko said, prove it. Sakura observed the two disappearing and the creation of shockwaves. When they first appeared, Anko's and Naruto's arms were a blur of motion. As Anko attempted to deliver a high kick, Naruto had already squatted down and began spinning on one foot with the other foot straight out to sweep her feet out from under her. Do you think that cloak will protect you? Anko asked. As Anko jumped into the air, she noticed Naruto shift his center of gravity. His foot then shot out and struck Anko's forearms, which were obstructing her chest. Anko went on the defensive and thought, damn, he has gotten better. Naruto never stopped attacking. When did he become so powerful? Was that weird guy his trainer? Anko smirked, shifted his footing, and spun Anko around to throw her after she ducked an attack and grabbed Naruto's arm to do so. Come on Anko. Nay. Chan, you know how to stop this, Naruto replied. She screamed, I will never saw, as Naruto let go of Anko and he shot through the air. She landed on her feet after spinning in midair. Naruto wasn't in front of her, she realized. Naruto kicked her into the air after whispering into her ear, I guess it is time for my finishing move. She flew up, her back arched. Naruto leapt back up and kicked her once more, sending her flying higher. When Anko reached the apex of her ascent, Naruto landed on his feet and leapt back up. As Anko felt Naruto's arm hook hers, she thought, this is going to hurt because he kicked me higher than any other time he has done this move on me. When they began to spin, she flinched. She didn't feel the impact of the ground, but she knew what was about to happen. Did you honestly think I would use that move on you when I do 2 kicks? Replied Naruto. Naruto smirked as he helped the woman stand up, saying, that would have killed or crippled you. Naruto declared, I think I won that one. Okay. Now that I have gotten a grasp on your skill level we will do a few missions, she stated. Sakura said, okay, sensei. Naruto nodded. Naruto shrugged and Anko questioned, why can't you be more respectful like her Naruto? As the three leapt off in the direction of the Hokage Tower, she commanded, fine, come on you two. We will be getting a mission and no complaining. Naruto yelled, why are you two staring at me? As they made their way to the Hokage Tower, they all chimed, No reason. The three arrived at the Hokage Tower in a short amount of time. In front of the Hokage, they stood. Okay, you three, I have a mission for you three to take care of bandit group towards the south that is terrorizing a small village. There is a chance of Chunin rank missing. Nins. Sarutobi stated to them. The chances are it is a high-level C ranked mission or low to medium B ranked. We will determine the ranking when you get back, he said. He commanded, Team Anko go, as the three jumped out the window. Anko questioned, who needs to get their items? Sakura responded, I do. Naruto shook his head no. Sakura nodded and ran to her house, and she said, okay, meet us at the front gate in 5 minutes. As Naruto took out a scroll, she said, Naruto, why don't you need anything? She said, storage seal? And Naruto nodded before putting it back into his cloak. He took out another scroll and studied it while leaning against the gate. What is that? Naruto informed her, an ancient ninjutsu that was outlawed. She questioned, why are you studying it? Naruto looked down at his stomach and said to Anko, it might come in handy later, it is something that only I can do. Anko said, ah okay. Anko questioned, what does it do? Naruto explained to her, a resurrection jutsu. At the sacrifice of 100 years of my life I can resurrect one person completely, even with their own body and soul. But they will only live for about 30 years from the time I resurrect them. Naruto clarified. Anko inquired, how many times can you use it? Probably once, Anko pondered. She was shocked when Naruto said, 7 or 8 times. I am trying to find a way to decrease the amount of years it takes from my life and increase the years of the person I am resurrecting. If the person I am resurrecting body is still fresh, I can bring them back easily without much life taken off for me. Naruto clarified. As Sakura approached them with her bag slung over her shoulder, Naruto explained, it takes more of my life force to recreate an entire body and place the soul into it rather than just placing a soul into the body. After putting the scroll back into his cloak, Naruto faced the gate. Okay, you two, let's get this mission done. I have an appointment later, Anko replied. Naruto informed Sakura, in other words she means she is going to stalk Iruka-sensei again. Anko said, it isn't stalking. Naruto smirked and remarked, oh yeah, she calls it protective surveillance. As they leapt away, Anko denied, I have no idea what you are talking about. Naruto saw her tense up and remarked, oh then you wouldn't mind him talking to other women. She stumbled out, nope. She gritted her teeth and asked, why would I like him? Naruto remarked, well, I suppose that whole tripping and falling into his lap was an accident. Anko cried, that was an accident, right? Sakura suppressed a laugh as Naruto trailed off. Then she grunted, HPHM. Naruto nodded, crossed his fingers, and made 20 clones as Anko gave him the order, Naruto, think of plans on all possible scenarios. Immediately, the clones halted and began talking. Naruto nodded, and Anko questioned, finally figured out the shadow clone jutsu's usefulness. There was silence among them. Anko broke the silence by saying, we will show up into town and see if we can get any information. She gave the cover story, saying, you two are my siblings, and we are going to visit our grandmother who is on her deathbed. Sakura inquired, how is that going to work? You have purple hair, I have pink and Naruto's is bright blonde. Sakura stated to her. Not that they would see his hair with that cloak on. Sakura continued. Anko remarked, that is true. As Naruto nodded, she said, okay, Naruto, you are not allowed to talk or show your face if asked why I will answer for you. Sakura nodded as Anko remarked, we don't know our father but our mother had pink hair. That should be a good cover story for this mission, she continued. Sakura remarked, I guess that will work. A puff of smoke enveloped Naruto as he made a hand signal beneath the cloak. Anko questioned, what were you doing, Naruto? As they touched down a couple of miles away from the village, Naruto told her, if people ask just tell them that I was horribly burned. As they began to walk, Anko said, okay, act as civilians. Sakura inquired, what are our aliases? As Naruto snickered, Anko said, I will be Hikari. She gave Naruto a half-hearted glare. Anko informed her, Naruto will be Arashi, and you will be Akira. Naruto nodded. From this point we will refer to each other by those names, she said. As they walked the final distance in roughly 30 minutes, Sakura said, okay. There was a register and a guard at the gate of the small village. Sakura began to feel anxious. In an attempt to soothe her, Naruto put his hand on her shoulder after noticing this. Anko approached the guards. The guard was saying, hello miss. He questioned, who may you three be? She pointed to Naruto and said, I am Hikari Yamino, and this is my younger brother Arashi. She pointed to Sakura and said, and my sister and Arashi's twin Akira. The guard remarked, we will have to ask Arashi to take his cloak off. Thinking quickly, Sakura said, I apologize, but he hasn't removed the cloak since a horrible accident 3 years ago. As if recalling a terrible incident, Sakura trailed off, you see I was cooking and accidentally spilled some water into a pan of oil. Sakura concluded sorrowfully as Naruto tipped the hood back to show a severely burned face. Flames went everywhere but Arashi. Chan pushed me out of the way and got horribly burnt. Sakura appeared on the verge of tears. My brother no longer speaks because of me. Sakura cried, feigning tears to fall from her eyes. As Anko put her arms around Sakura and pretended to calm the girl, the guard hurriedly said, oh, I'm sorry for reminding you of that. He said, you may go in. Anko turned to Sakura after he was out of sight of the guards and curious onlookers. Naruto nodded, and Anko muttered, that was good back there. Naruto sensed that they were being watched. Pointing to a food stand, he gave Anko a quick tap on the shoulder. She said, you hungry? And Naruto nodded. Naruto gave a very quick signal that they were being observed. The hand movement was so quick that nobody beneath Chunin could see it. Anko seemed to be searching for another place to go. Naruto shrugged and Anko questioned, Arashi. Chan, why must we always eat ramen? As Naruto sagged forward, she remarked, I think Akira should pick the place, she is quite upset. Sakura said sadly, let's go to a dango shop. Anko shouted, yay dango. Like a child trying to get attention. Naruto gave Sakura a stern look and slapped his forehead. Sakura muttered, ops. As Anko began to pull them through the tiny village. Anko discovered a dango store after 15 minutes and began to get up and down. Sakura and Naruto were left standing outside as she hurried in. Anko was bouncing in her seat as Sakura swiftly followed Naruto as he entered the store with composure and saw his siblings seated at a table. As he joined them and spoke across from them, Naruto shook his head. A waitress did not take long to approach. Waitress. What can I get for you? With a childish exclamation, green tea and dango. The waitress nodded and jotted down something. Then she looked at Sakura. As the waitress jotted down her order, Sakura said, I will have green tea and red bean soup. When Naruto pointed at Anko and Sakura, the waitress became irritated and Naruto remained silent. As Naruto gestured to the girls once more, the waitress asked, what would you like, sir? Anko said, sorry, my brother doesn't speak anymore. What he wants is green tea, dango and red bean soup. With a shy look of shame, the waitress said, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. She felt a hand on her shoulder. Sakura said, don't worry, he forgave you. She bowed and left after saying, thank you, I will get your food immediately. Naruto listened to the gossip in the small shop while Sakura and Anko engaged in light conversation. All of a sudden, Naruto's warning signs began to sound. What's happening? As he looked around to see what was going on, Naruto thought. He saw two individuals coming into the store. Their cloaks were black and adorned with red clouds. One was very tall and carried a club in a bundle on his back. The other was less menacing and shorter. The waitress returned a short time later. Naruto gestured and pulled on Anko's sleeve. Anko gave a nod. Seeing his nervousness, Anko remarked, I think we will need to get this to go. She looked over at the waiter. When the waitress returned with their food and beverages, Anko said, Arashi. Chan is tired, can we take these to go? Anko grinned, accepted the bag, and the three departed as the waitress said, for my actions earlier this is on the house. They were being led by Naruto to a hotel. What is the matter with Naruto? As they observed him, the two pondered. Naruto approached the hotel's receptionist after they had located one. Naruto nodded, and she said, just 3? She said, 2 rooms? And Naruto shook his head. He nodded, set some cash on the counter, and she handed him a key. Okay, we have 1 room with 2 beds and a couch left. As he left, Anko and Sakura following closely behind, she informed him, room 24 on the 2nd floor. Sakura was growing anxious over his anxiety. When they arrived at the room, Naruto opened the door and let the girls in before trailing behind after surveying the area. He threw another one on the floor after closing it and sealing the handle. Gazing out the window, Naruto declared, it is safe to talk. Anko demanded, Naruto, what is wrong? Anko and Sakura nodded, and Naruto said, I don't know, but did you see those 2 guys in black cloaks with red clouds on it? Before swiftly leaving the window, Naruto said to them, I sensed something dangerous about them. I don't know what, but it was intense. Naruto continued, my instincts were going off, bad. With a hint of rage, Anko said, and you made us leave for that? Naruto said to her, yes. The tall one had a lot more chakra than you, almost 3 or 4 times more. Naruto continued. Naruto informed her, the smaller one had a bit less chakra. He looked out the window once more and remarked, but still had more chakra than you. Naruto told them, I didn't feel safe around them. Naruto went on, I think we should stay away from them. Anko questioned, Naruto, how sure are you? Naruto informed her that he was about 90% sure. As the two nodded and Naruto removed the seals and put them in his pocket, Anko said, okay, we will give them 3 days to leave, and if they don't we will search the countryside for the bandits. Sakura and Anko began to consume the food. Naruto had remained close to the window, still gazing out of it. Naruto nodded, picked up his food, and joined them in eating when Sakura said, Arashi.ni. Chan, you should eat. The two were unaware that Naruto had entered his mental realm. The mindscape of Naruto fields and forests were visible when Naruto opened his eyes. When Naruto saw a stunning woman sitting against a tree with long orange, reddish hair, 2 orange fluffy fox ears, and 9 bushy tails, he thought, I am so glad I found that scroll on how to change your mindscape. As he approached, Naruto saw her nose twitch. She said, hello Naruto.kun. Naruto said, hey Kyubi-chan. Naruto questioned, what is with those 2 men? Kyubi informed Naruto, the taller one reeked of the man that made me attack Konoha. The shorter one also smelled of the same person but not as strong, she continued. Naruto uttered the words, interesting. Naruto continued, okay, I should get back before they get suspicious. As Naruto disappeared, Kyubi said, okay Naruto.kun. Naruto is getting stronger, Kyubi reflected. Actual world. When Naruto returned to the present, he heard Sakura and Anko discussing something. Anko stated plainly, I think Naruto is hotter than Sasuke. I do have to admit Naruto is above average but Sasuke is hotter than him, said Sakura. No Naruto, cried Anko. Sasuke, Sakura retorted. Anko yelled, Naruto, as Naruto slapped his forehead to get their attention. Oh, you are back. Anko grinned. 15 minutes ago Naruto's distant gaze caught Anko's attention. So Akira, who do you think the top 5 hottest men in Konoha are? Asked Anko. Sakura remarked, that is a tough one. Why don't you tell me who you think it is? Number 1 is Iruka, then Kakashi, Asuma, Naruto, and then Izumo. Anko replied bluntly. Kakashi? Inquired Sakura. No one has ever seen his face. Anko stated plainly, it is the mystery that makes him hotter, so who do you think it is? Sakura remarked, I don't know. She blushed and remarked, I don't know many men in Konoha. She went on, just the rookie 9. Anko instructed her, okay, name the 5 hottest of them. Okay. Sasuke, Naruto, Shikamaru, Kiba, then Shino, said Sakura. When Naruto returned to the present, he heard Sakura and Anko discussing something. Anko stated plainly, I think Naruto is hotter than Sasuke. I do have to admit Naruto is above average but Sasuke is hotter than him, said Sakura. No Naruto, cried Anko. Sasuke, Sakura retorted. Anko yelled, Naruto, as Naruto slapped his forehead to get their attention. Oh, you are back. Anko grinned. Naruto picked up a sheet of paper. Naruto wrote, what were you talking about, on the paper? Anko said bluntly, just who the top 5 hottest guys were. Sakura flushed. Who do you think the top 5 hottest women are? Naruto began writing on the sheet of paper. They read the paper as Naruto held it up, saying, Hinata, Anko, and Kurenai tied for 2nd, Sakura and Ino tied for 4th. Anko boasted, he believes I am more attractive. Sakura said, he also thinks Hinata is hotter than you. Anko said, at least I am not in last place. Sakura remarked, but you aren't in 1st. As she looked at Naruto, Anko yelled, hey, you were right. Why are Kurenai and I tied for 2nd? Naruto wrote on the paper, because Hinata is prettier than the 2 of you. Sakura questioned, why am I lumped with Ino.pig? Naruto scribbled, both of you annoy me sometimes. Sakura saw what he had written. Naruto wrote, help me, as Sakura punched him with a chakra infused blow. Fortunately for Naruto, he had hardened the cloak by channeling his own chakra into it. The paper was written with Naruto's words, be careful, we are trying to be discreet. He burned the paper using a low-level fire jutsu. As Naruto approached the window and his eyes widened, she remarked, Arashi-chan is right, we need to be careful. Without hesitation, he proceeded to the door, sealed it with explosives, and turned the beds over. Naruto whispered to Sakura and Anko, get behind here. They followed Naruto's instructions after he whispered. I saw them enter the hotel. They soon heard footsteps approaching the door. Naruto swallowed. A voice outside the door said, "This is the room," the receptionist said. Another voice said, "Can I break the door down?" Naruto threw more explosive seals onto the door and gulped once more. As the room exploded, Naruto threw his cloak around Sakura and Anko and used his chakra to harden it. With his katana out of its sheath, Naruto immediately stood. Avoid staring into the short man's eyes, as he has the Mangekyo Sharingan, Kyuubi bellowed into his mind. As the big man and the short man entered, Naruto declared, "I will fight the big guy." He also cautioned, "Watch out for the short man's eyes, avoid eye contact at all times." The shorter one remarked, "Naruto-kun, that was a very ingenious idea." Naruto looked at the man's feet and remarked, "You seem to know me, but I don't know you." "Oh," the man said, "and I am Itachi Uchiha and this is my partner Kisame Hoshigaki." Itachi informed Naruto, "You know it isn't polite to not look into their eyes." "What makes you desire me?" Naruto inquired. As the eyes of Anko and Naruto widened, Itachi remarked, "For something that you have in you that we desperately need." As he disappeared and attacked Kisame, Naruto said, "Well, you can't have that." The force of his attack sent Kisame and Itachi through the walls behind them. Naruto then launched a barrage of vicious attacks that began to push Kisame back, who was still unable to draw his sword. "Don't think that I will let you draw your sword, Samahata." Naruto spun and slashed across Kisame's chest, and Kisame leapt back and drew his sword. "Hey, you're in for it now." Kisame smirked savagely as he spoke. Naruto exploded in front of Kisame and said, "That is what you think." Sakura and Anko together. Naruto said, "Let's go, I have only temporarily delayed them." The two nodded and leapt away as they were 20 minutes from the village, at which point Naruto stopped, causing the two girls to stop. "We need to get to Konoha and soon." Naruto was fighting Itachi when the two were suddenly in the streets after another explosion tore apart the hotel room they were in and the windows exploded. Anko informed him, "Naruto, it is a 7-hour trip." Naruto said, "Not the way I am thinking. Grab a part of my cloak and hold on tight." He instructed them to do so. "This is a jutsu I copied when I was tricked into stealing the Forbidden Scroll." Naruto told them, and as the three disappeared in a yellow flash, he said, "Please tell no one about it." Naruto had used the Hireishin no Jutsu and appeared in his Konoha apartment. Since the seal was for Minato Namikaze, he had to use a lot of chakra to use it for himself, but it takes a lot more chakra to transport others. He had nearly run out of chakra. "Was that Hireishin without jutsu, Naruto?" Naruto nodded feebly as Anko asked. "It takes a lot of my chakra to do it by myself. With others, it takes most of my chakra." Naruto gasped. "We must report to the Hokage, Naruto. Are you able to move?" Anko inquired. It is well known among the shinobi ranks that Naruto possessed at least 20 times more chakra than most Kage. "Yeah, I am only a genin level chakra." Naruto said weakly as Anko gasped, "I will need help. Man, I haven't been this depleted in a long time." Naruto told them. "What is your chakra level?" Sakura put his arm around his shoulders and asked. In the direction of the Hokage tower, Naruto informed the astonished girl, "I am currently at about 1% chakra. My massive chakra capacity is the reason I have troubles with jutsu that take little chakra." Alongside Sarutobi, when the door slammed open, Sarutobi thought, "I can't believe I unwittingly sent Naruto to a trap for Akatsuki. Thank God you three are okay." He sighed with relief as he looked up and saw Sakura and Anko supporting Naruto. "I sent a messenger bird 5 hours ago." As she put Naruto on the seat, Anko remarked, "Yeah, it was because of Naruto that we survived. Now tell us how and why 2 missing shinobi are after Naruto." Anko glared at the older man and demanded, "Please leave, Sakura. I can't say it in front of Sakura. It pertains to an S-ranked secret." Sarutobi continued. When Sakura remained motionless, Sarutobi added, "Don't worry, everything will be explained to you at some point." Sakura reluctantly moved when Sarutobi gestured toward the door. 2 seals were flung to the ground by Naruto. "Seal!" As the room briefly glowed before returning to normal, Naruto yelled. "What was that?" Sarutobi inquired. "It will show you with a box of tissues close by with a small orange book." Naruto smirked and added, "A privacy seal. Now tell us why Itachi and Kisame were after me," Naruto said gravely. "They belong to an organization that is pursuing the 9 bijus," Sarutobi explained, adding, "I only recently learned about it. It's called Akatsuki, and I would have sent Chunin to that village to remove them if I had known Akatsuki was there." Sarutobi told them, "I want you to be on high alert, okay? I have called an old friend to come and start training you soon. Hopefully you will be placed as his apprentice, but we will not know till he shows up. But I didn't get that news until about an hour after you 3 left." Since Naruto is the youngest of the Jinchuriki, he is currently the easiest to get, or so they thought. Naruto thought, I need to train, and said, okay. Now how did you get here so fast? I sent several teams out to get you 3. Sarutobi replied to him. Naruto smirked and said, well, most people thought I just learned the Shadow Clone Jutsu. They wouldn't think that I would copy some jutsus. Naruto informed Sarutobi, I copied the Hiraishin no Jutsu. But I can use it 5 times in quick succession 20 times with a minute rest between uses and once if I carry people. Naruto told the stunned Hokage, I haven't figured out my personal seal yet. Like Minato, Sarutobi reflected. Naruto told them, I should be fine tomorrow. He added, weakly smiling, but if I don't give up I will find it soon. And that is similar to Kushina, Sarutobi reflected. Alright, Naruto, go rest. Naruto nodded and, with Anko's assistance, made it home. She put him in his bed and departed. I will have a Hyuga here to see if you are at full power, he said. Team Anko had embarked on their first mission 2 months prior. The following day, Naruto encountered one of the most formidable men he had ever seen when Team Anko gathered. The Hyuga clan's leader, Hishi Hyuga, had been summoned to examine Naruto. Naruto was at half strength, according to Hishi, but that was more than enough to complete easy C-ranked missions at the hardest level. In their 3 days together, they had finished 10 D-ranked missions and 5 C-ranked delivery missions to towns surrounding Konoha. Naruto had returned to his normal chakra level by the end of the 2nd day. Later on, Naruto learned that Hishi Hyuga was actually Hinata Hyuga's father. As Naruto's feelings for the bashful Hyuga grew, so did his fear. The two got closer and closer during each training session. The two were now frequently seen together during one of their brief excursions. People were initially shocked and went straight to Hishi, who dismissed them right away. However, Kakashi was already 2 hours late, and Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura were currently waiting for him to arrive. In order to protect himself when Kakashi eventually appeared, Naruto put earplugs in his ears, suggesting that he was smarter than Sasuke. Where is he? Cried Sakura. Reading her lips, Naruto said, I don't know. Sakura's whining was abruptly cut off when Kakashi emerged in smoke. Sakura shouted, you're late. So loudly that Naruto could actually hear her clearly. Unfortunately, Kakashi and Sasuke were not as protected as he was. When he explained to them the true reason for his tardiness, Kakashi made up a story about getting lost on the road of life, but Naruto simply ignored him. Kakashi declared, I have nominated you 3 for the Chunin exams. To everyone's surprise, Naruto said, you're joking, right? No, why? Kakashi questioned naively. Naruto said icily to Kakashi, maybe because you basically ditched Sakura and I in favor of training Sasuke. The longer Kakashi served as Naruto's sensei, the less respect Naruto has for him. As Sakura put it, you know Naruto is right, Kakashi. When Sakura and Naruto realized they were only instructed to perform chakra control exercises, they both stopped calling Kakashi sensei. Gazing at the two, Kakashi declared, I will not tolerate this. I will repo. Naruto said, you report us, we report you. And blatant favoritism is punishable much more harshly than not following simple training orders. Naruto stated to Kakashi. Sasuke questioned, what are you jealous of? Naruto remarked, as if. Naruto informed Sasuke, I am a wind water type. He can't do most wind jutsu because they don't involve hand signs, so he can't copy it. Said Naruto. Naruto informed him, so he is useless as my sensei. After grabbing a sheet, Naruto said, Asuma. Sensei or even Kurenai. Sensei are more suited to me. He then turned to leave. While he was walking, Naruto remarked, I will think this over. Sakura snatched up her sheet and went after Naruto. Sakura inquired, where are you going, Naruto? Naruto uttered the words, to the academy. Haruka. Sensei wants me to make an appearance since my new nickname has spread through the land of fire. Naruto continued. Sakura nodded and said, ah yes, the much feared Black Death of Konoha, so what are you going to do? Naruto stated, I was thinking of doing the Void Shunshin. Naruto informed her, and saying something frightening to them. As they made their way through Konoha to the academy, Naruto said to Sakura, then I might take Konohamaru and have him stay home for a while. I will promise to teach him a really powerful ninjutsu. She was given a genjutsu scroll by Naruto. She nodded, and Naruto said, here, why don't you go practice this while I go scare some academy students? With a nod, Naruto disappeared into a black void. The classroom of Haruka. While Haruka was instructing his class, a black sphere materialized and then vanished, revealing a cloaked figure. Haruka thought, damn, Naruto knows how to make an entrance. To get everyone's attention, Haruka yelled, Okay everyone, we have a special guest today. As everyone began whispering to their friends, he said, here is one of my former students Naruto Uzumaki, also known as the Black Death of Konoha. He is here to tell you the life of a shinobi. Naruto said categorically, you didn't tell me that. Anyways, I wasn't prepared to lecture, but if you want I can show you a few ninjutsus I have learned. Naruto replied. He mentally added, it will show that hard work, and several hundred clones. Naruto looked at Iruka to get his approval and remarked, will get you more power than having it handed to you. As the class applauded, Iruka said, okay, let's go outside so Naruto can do a small demonstration. Everyone was outside in no time at all. Naruto informed them, all right, everyone, I am a wind and water user. The hands of Konohamaru, Udon, and Moegi sprang up as they asked, does anyone know a jutsu that they want me to show? Okay you three, which one do you want to see, again? The Wind Dragon. Konohamaru cried out with excitement. With a drop of perspiration, Naruto said, okay. As ominous clouds began to gather around the academy, Naruto closed his eyes. Before long, a cyclone began to spin and resemble a snake. Like dragon. It performed some aerial acrobatics at Naruto's command. Soon after, it vanished. Naruto's strength astounded everyone except the Konohamaru Corps. Next, said Naruto. The Maelstrom, shouted Moegi. Naruto informed her, I need Hinata-chan in order to do that jutsu. Naruto clarified, it is a combination jutsu. What about the one you have been working on? Udon inquired. Naruto remarked, well, I suppose I can show that one. Naruto held his hands together at his sides and said, this is a 100% nature manipulation jutsu. He then slowly withdrew his hands as a wind sphere developed inside of them. For the first second after he struck a training post, nothing happened to it before it exploded in splinters. Naruto said, one more before we have to go inside. Moegi said, Hamo, can you show us your speed? I guess I can do that, but it isn't a jutsu, just weight training. Naruto replied. As he heard Kyuubi snicker, Naruto mentally added, intensive weight training. Naruto said as he vanished and then reappeared throughout the classroom, but I can show you. Even though Naruto was restraining the majority of his speed, they were still in awe of him. As everyone hurried into the classroom to hear what the Black Death had to say, Naruto said, okay everyone, time to go back inside where I have something important to tell you. Iruka recognized the gleam in Naruto's eye once they were inside. As all of the students leaned forward excitedly, Naruto said, okay everyone, I am going to say this once, so listen up. Naruto disappeared and was seen behind Konohamaru, saying, if Iruka Sensei has a bad student he will call me to deal with them with whatever I see fit. As the two disappeared in a black sphere, Naruto remarked, you are on the top of the list. The most popular question was, what do you think you will do to Konohamaru? As the room fell silent, Iruka said, okay, everyone, be quiet. Oh, Iruka thought, I will have to thank Naruto for this. Alongside Naruto in front of the Sarutobi compound, Naruto and Konohamaru made their appearance. So Konohamaru, I don't want you to go to school or walk in public for at least 4 days. Naruto replied. As the boy nodded and unlocked the gate for them, Naruto continued, it is part of the prank I am doing. Konohamaru shouted, Mom, I'm home. Asumi, his mother, inquired, what are you doing home so early? Konohamaru remarked, oh Naruto.ni.san took me out to teach a lesson to the class. Asumi said, oh really, what is that? She shook her head, and Naruto smiled and said, to listen to Iruka Sensei or face a punishment at the hands of the Black Death. He needs to be out of school for at least a week to drive the lesson home, said Naruto. Don't worry, I will come and teach Konohamaru everything he would learn in the academy, said Naruto. As he disappeared in a black shunshin, Naruto said to the boy, I will see you either tomorrow or the day after because I have a C-ranked mission with Anko.ne-chan today. At the gate with Anko in order to embark on their mission to deliver some supplies to a small town experiencing drought, Anko was waiting for Naruto to arrive. At the gate, Naruto emerged wearing his black shunshin. As Anko nodded knowingly, Naruto apologized for being late, saying, Kakashi Sensei was late, again. Then I had the thing with Iruka Sensei. Anko eagerly inquired, did he say anything about me? Nope, said Naruto. Naruto heard Anko say, you're dragging the cart. Why? Inquired Naruto. The simplest thing Anko said was, you are stronger, she commanded. Chop chop, get pullin'. Naruto reluctantly began to pull the cart. As she recalled the meeting, Anko inquired, so are you doing the Chunin exam? Start of the flashback to see the Hokage. All of the Junin sensei as well as the Junin and Chunin proctors were summoned. Okay everyone, you all know that the Chunin exams will be held in 1 week's time. Sarutobi responded. Following Junin sensei's nomination of their teams, Sarutobi inquired, who will nominate their teams? Kakashi stated in a dull voice, Kakashi Hitaki nominates Team 7 for the Chunin exams. What? Cried Anko fiercely. As Kurenai fought to hold her back, Anko angrily asked, do you realize that there is killing is allowed in the exam? She cried out, I know your team isn't ready. Kakashi answered, I would think you would. Kakashi continued, I mean you do train with Naruto and Sakura. Anko swore, her curse mark blazing with anger, that is because you ditched them to teach that brat of Uchiha. Kakashi started, you wouldn't understand that I am the only one who can teach. All eyes widened, and Anko asked, and who taught you? Stop this now, told Sarutobi. Kakashi, I will have a word with you after the exams, he continued. End of flashback. Anko's flashback was cut short when Naruto said, I will be thinking about it. When Anko felt something, she said, good. Naruto tensed, as she could see, in sign language. Anko questioned Naruto, do you sense them too? He nodded in a barely perceptible way. Anko inquired, how many do you sense? Naruto replied, I sense 6, wait no 7. 2 out of the 7 have Chunin level chakra reserves, the other 5 have Genin and below. Naruto stated to her. Anko smiled viciously and signed, they sure are gutsy to come after this cart. As the 2 Chunin leapt out in front of them and the other 5 leapt out behind them in an attempt to seize the items without Naruto and Anko noticing, Naruto thought, oh. Anko cracked her knuckles and said, I take these 2 chumps and you take the other 5? I was hoping for a way for me to vent the anger I have towards Kakashi, she continued. Naruto gave her a shrug. Naruto reminded her, remember Anko, they're wanted alive so don't get too overboard. Naruto turned to face the 5, and Anko said, okay, no deaths, but broken bones, gashes, and stabs are okay. Naruto said icily, if you leave now, I will let you live. One of the thugs remarked, it is 5 vs 1, we have the upper hand. You mean had? Naruto gestured toward the trees. As the clones encircled the thugs, Naruto grinned and remarked, it is now 5 vs 1,000. He questioned, now do you know who I am? As the clones parted, allowing the real Naruto to enter. The thug stammered, N.No. 2 of the thugs fainted, and Naruto remarked, fools like you call me the Black Death of Konoha. The 3 others were too terrified to faint. As he approached the trembling men, Naruto said coolly, now should I or shouldn't I kill you? When Naruto gradually removed his katana, the final 3 clones fainted and scattered, returning Naruto's chakra. Naruto looked to see Anko sitting atop the 2 Chunin clapping at him and remarked, that was fun. As Anko stood up and removed the 2 Chunin, she remarked, well done Naruto.kun. Man, she is HEA. The Chunin did not finish because Anko passed out after his foot struck his groin. As he created 7 clones, Naruto shook his head. As the clones brought the men back to the Konoha to face charges, Naruto informed her, you know you are a loose cannon sometimes. Naruto said to her, come on, let's finish this mission. Anko asked, why do you have to train with Hinata? Chan? Naruto's face was beet red, so he was glad his hood was up. Naruto stammered, N.No. Not believing him, Anko said, I'm right. You know I haven't met her yet, you know that as your older sister I need to meet her. Anko continued. Oh hell no. Cried Naruto. You do anything to her and I will tell Iruka Sensei who has been sending him those pictures. So? Inquired Anko. As Anko gave him a fierce look, Naruto continued, and I won't tell him it is you. Naruto questioned, do we have a deal? Anko gave Naruto the response, fine, but I still want to meet her, I want to make sure she is good enough for you. Said Anko. Kurenai. Chan does, however, frequently speak well of Hinata. Anko thought, I know Kurenai. Chan is a great character judge, and she says Hinata is shy, kind, and gentle, especially around Naruto. What embarrassing tales ought I to share? Anko pondered. As Naruto put it, fine. Looking at Anko, Naruto thought, I think she is too good for me. After 2 more incidents, they completed the mission in 2 hours, but the thugs fled when they saw Naruto. So Naruto, what did you tell Kakashi when he showed up? Anko was informed by Naruto, oh, I told him the truth. That he ditched Sakura and I, before I left and Sakura ran up to me. The 2 returned to Konoha in no time at all. Naruto stretched his arms and said, next time we do this, I am making clones to carry the damned cart. Anko said, why don't you just seal it away? When they were walking through Konoha, Naruto said to Anko, The seal needed is extremely complex and I don't want to waste my time on something that a few clones can do. Naruto noticed an indigo flash. When Naruto was abruptly tackled by a light person straddling his back, he thought, must be Hinata-chan. He shivered as the person whispered, "Hello Naruto-kun." Anko said, Naruto, who is this girl?" Naruto stood up and said, "Oh Anko-ne. Chan. This is Hinata. Hinata Hyuga." However, Hinata remained attached to him. Naruto said, "Hinata, this is Anko Midarashi." Hinata said, "Hello." Over Naruto's shoulder. As Naruto blushed and thanked Zabuza and Haku for providing him with the cloak to conceal his blush, Anko remarked, "Oh, so you are the infamous Hinata that Naruto always tells me about." Anko nodded, and Hinata questioned, "Really Naruto-kun talks about me?" A young girl and boy yelled, "Boss!" Naruto heard themselves. Naruto turned to see Moegi and Udon, who appeared to be in a panic. "What is it?" inquired Naruto gravely. Moegi yelled, "Konohamaru-kun and Hanabi-chan are in trouble." As Hinata jumped off his back and the two of them flew in the direction of the two kids' origin. As they turned the corner, Hanabi and Konohamaru were seen being raised by their shirts off the ground. Naruto's eyes turned red as his anger reached unprecedented proportions. He disappeared with Hinata, whose fury matched his own. As Hinata cut off the chakra to his arms, Naruto emerged behind the shinobi carrying Hanabi and Konohamaru, his katana pressed firmly against his neck. With a dangerous command, Naruto pressed the blade closer to his neck and said, "Release them." Naruto sheathed the katana after the shinobi let them go. As the shinobi reached for the bundle on his back, Hinata snatched Konohamaru and her sister and jumped back. Hinata's Byakugan was active as she bellowed, "Naruto-kun, he has a puppet on his back." Naruto put his hand on the katana handle and said icily, "Maybe I should make it into firewood." Something caught hold of his shin. By pulsing his chakra, Naruto caused the chakra string to release him. Behind Naruto, a boy yelled, "Kankuro Tamari, stop now or I'll kill you." Naruto had sensed that someone was approaching. Hinata reflected, he has the same type of chakra flowing through him as Naruto-kun. Kankuro stammered, "Yes G Gaara." Naruto stood guard in front of the two. Gazing at Naruto, Gaara demanded, "What is your name?" Naruto said to Gaara, "Naruto Uzumaki." As he and Kankuro disappeared, Gaara declared, "We are leaving." Tamari, however, had remained. Walking sensuously in Naruto's direction, Tamari questioned, "So you are the Black Death of Konoha?" Naruto stated apathetically, obviously unaffected by her, "That is what people call me." Tamari started, "So would you like to go?" as Hinata grabbed Naruto's arm. Glaring at Tamari, Hinata remarked, "Like hell he will." Then Hinata said, "He is mine." Tamari gave Hinata a disinterested glance. With a wink and a kiss, Tamari said, "Well, if you get tired of her, you can call me." The girl blushed when Naruto said, "So Hinata-chan I am yours?" Hinata said tremblingly, I would like it if we were going out." Hinata thought, "Please don't hate me." Then Naruto said, Okay. A bewildered Hinata asked. Just before Hinata threw him to the ground once more, Naruto saw the biggest smile appear on her face and said, "We can go out." Naruto planted a passionate kiss on Hinata's lips this time. "Go boss/ne.chan, shouted Hanabi and Konohamaru. When Hinata let Naruto go, she was flushed. Then Naruto turned to the boy and said, "Konohamaru." Gazing at Konohamaru, Naruto questioned, "What did I tell you earlier?" Konohamaru remarked, "You promised to play shinobi with us, but not to go outside." Konohamaru sheepishly added, "And now that Hinata.ne-chan is here she can play too." After rubbing his eyes, Naruto struck Konohamaru in the head. As Naruto put it, "Fine." Before the two disappeared in Naruto's black shunshin, Naruto put his arm around Hinata's waist, causing her to flush, "But you will have to find us." In another location in a clearing, Naruto and Hinata emerged. Not too far away was a river and a waterfall. When Naruto took Hinata in his shunshin, she was feeling a little lightheaded as usual. She looked around after her vision cleared. Whispering, Hinata said, "Beautiful." As Hinata gazed at Naruto, he remarked, "It is only the second most beautiful thing I have seen." Naruto put his arms around the blushing girl's waist and whispered, "You are the first." Naruto remarked, "You know we have the next week off." Naruto said, "How about we go on a date?" Hinata exclaimed with excitement, "I would like that." As she kissed him on the lips, Hinata thought, "I finally get a date with Naruto-kun. My Naruto-kun." Naruto inquired, "Where would you like to go?" Hinata smiled slightly and said to Naruto, I don't care, as long as I am with you. As he created a clone that disappeared in the Shunshin, Naruto said, okay. Naruto removed his cloak to show off his surprisingly tanned skin and broad shoulders, saying, let's eat here. Hinata blushed because the shirt he was wearing hugged his muscles. Hinata couldn't think of a suitable term to refer to Naruto, so her thoughts drifted to, oh my god, Naruto-kun is so. Naruto said to Hinata, Hinata, there is something I have to tell you. It is the reasons I am hated by some of the villagers. Naruto continued. Hinata insisted, I don't care about that. Hinata, this is something you have to know about if we actually start dating. Naruto stated to her. Naruto went on, it is a promise I made to your father. Hinata nodded as Naruto questioned, do you know what happened October 10th 13 years ago? Kyuubi attacked the village, and the 4th Hokage sacrificed his life to kill Kyuubi. Naruto was told by Hinata. Well, Naruto informed Hinata, that isn't entirely true. Naruto went on to say, Kyuubi will die eventually, but she isn't dead yet. You see, the tailed beasts are too powerful for a human to kill. Depending on the amount of tails, they can be sealed into object or people. Naruto stated to Hinata. Tails 1 through 4 can be sealed into either objects or any kind of person. 4 and 5 tails, they can only be sealed into people of ages 10 and younger. 6 to 9 tails, they have to be sealed into newborn babies. Naruto said to Hinata as he raised his shirt. When Naruto informed Hinata, she gasped in shock. The 4th Hokage used a combination of the dead demon-consuming seal and 8 trigrams seal to seal the Kyuubi's chakra and spirit into me. Naruto said, I will understand if you hate them, but was cut off by 2 gentle lips. Hinata whispered to Naruto, I don't care that you have Kyuubi sealed in you. Hinata informed her, you are Naruto-kun and no one else, you are not Kyuubi. Hinata stroked Naruto's whisker marks with her thumb and remarked, you are no demon. Are these from Kyuubi's influence? Naruto started by saying, well, first, Kyuubi isn't a demon. She is the boss Kitsune of the Kitsune summoning clan, which are the rulers of the summons. Naruto stated to Hinata. And in a way these whisker marks are a result of Kyuubi's influence on me. But not from the ceiling, but from when I was in my mother's womb. Naruto stated to Hinata. Hinata gasped once more as Naruto explained. My mother was the previous Jinchuriki of Kyuubi no Kitsune. As the clone returned with food, Naruto informed her, so in a sense I am part Kitsune. Following their first date, Naruto and Hinata grew even closer than they had been before. After team training, they now spent the majority of their free time together. The primary distinction is that they no longer walked side by side but now held hands. The previous night, Naruto had gone to bed by himself, but upon awakening, he felt a slight weight on his left arm. Who is that? Opening his eyes to find 2 lavender orbs gazing into his cerulean orbs, Naruto thought. Hinata kissed him and said, Morning Naru-kun. Naruto gave her a passionate kiss in return. Naruto drew away from her and said, Hello Hina. Hime. Naruto inquired, when did you get here? He was told by Hinata, about 10 last night. As Hinata cocked her head to the side in confusion, Naruto asked, do you want me dead? Naruto informed her, your father. Hinata blushed at Naruto's words, if he finds out we slept together he will kill me. When Naruto noticed her flush and distant expression, he understood what he had said. With Hinata flushed, Naruto questioned, oh, is my little Hina? I'm a pervert? He blushed and shuddered as Hinata whispered into his ear, only with you Naru-kun. Hinata questioned, is my Naru-kun a pervert too? As Hinata gave him another kiss, Naruto said, only for you my Hime. Naruto looked at the clock as they withdrew. As Hinata's eyes widened and she glanced at the clock, Naruto said, oh no Hina. Hime, we have to go. Ah. She cried out. She informed Naruto, I have 10 minutes before I have to meet my team. She immediately stood up, revealing a light blue nightgown that caused Naruto to flush. She changed in less than a minute after entering his bathroom and grabbing some clothes. She kissed Naruto quickly, her clothes a mess. Hinata greeted him and then jumped out the window toward the training grounds, saying, bye Naru-kun, I will see you later. As Naruto got out of bed, his thoughts returned to Hinata's nightgown and he thought, I got to take a shower. He had no shirt on and was dressed in pajama pants. A knock on the door caught his attention. Who might that be? Before answering the door, Naruto put on his cloak and thought. A 6'2" man with pale eyes and long black hair was staring down at him. Naruto swallowed because Hishi Hyuga was standing in front of him. Naruto spat, H. Hello H Hishi. Sama. Hello Naruto-san. Hishi greeted him. Naruto stepped aside to allow the larger man to enter, saying, Please come in." As Heishi held up a bag of clothing, Naruto questioned, "What can I do for you?" Heishi remarked, "I know Hinata slept here last night." As he held the bag in front of Naruto, Heishi said, "I know that now you two are dating that this will happen more often." The anxiety almost vanished when Naruto was told, "Her clothes are some of these that you should keep here for when she sleeps over." As Naruto's anxiety returned tenfold, he threatened, "But if I find out you two do anything, I will make sure you will never mold chakra again." As Naruto carried the bag into his room, he stammered, "Oh. Okay." Naruto addressed Heishi, saying, Heishi. Sama, I promise to not do anything to her that she doesn't want." Heishi remarked, "You two remind me of a few people." "Who?" inquired Naruto. According to Heishi, "Your parents. You are a lot alike Kushina and your father." Kushina was a free spirit that also never went back on her word. She loved pranks, and loved ramen. Heishi stated to Naruto, "Your father was a compassionate person, he loved everyone, he grieved for anyone he killed, and he loved his wife. I am sure you and Hinata will be just like them." Heishi stated to Naruto. Heishi went on, "But you will have to tell her about it." Heishi was informed by Naruto that she already knows. Heishi nodded in agreement as Naruto continued, "We didn't even get to go on our first date before I told her." Heishi remarked, "You are a very good man, Naruto." Naruto bowed his head to Heishi and said, "Thank you. Thanks for telling me about my mother and father too." Naruto continued. Heishi said, "No need to thank me." Heishi bowed his head to Naruto, stunning him, and said, "But I am sorry, Naruto Uzumaki. Not many people know who your father is, and if I had adopted you it would have brought a lot of suspicion. I couldn't do it without reason." Heishi stated to him, "I tried to protect you as much as I could." Heishi was informed by Naruto, "I already know that. I am sure if you hadn't have protected me I would have turned cold and distant." Naruto continued. Heishi replied, "I am sure too." Heishi advised him to prepare for the test, which begins in an hour. Heishi told Naruto, "I will let myself out." Naruto nodded and hurried to the bathroom to change under his cloak, but he forgot something. By the time he realized what he had missed, he had already left for the school. He was surprised that he had forgotten this article of apparel. Sakura appeared shortly after he did. According to Sakura, "Hello Naruto." Naruto said, "Hello Sakura." Naruto told her, "I am glad you chose to take the exam." Sakura said, "I am a little nervous. You said that killing was allowed, what will I do?" she inquired. Naruto assured her, "Sakura, you will do what you have to." Naruto went on, "And I will try to protect you as much as possible." As Sakura put it, "Thanks Naruto." A comfortable silence descended upon them, and Naruto said, "No problem." Sasuke didn't arrive for another 20 minutes. Before entering the school, Sasuke uttered the words, "Don't slow me down." Sakura nodded, and Naruto said plainly, "He is going to get either himself, one of us, or both of us killed." Following Sasuke, the two entered the school. She nodded, and Naruto said, "Sakura, did you work on that genjutsu I gave you?" Sakura remarked, "I haven't gotten it right yet though." Naruto inquired, "What about those earth jutsus I gave you?" "I can do the field spike jutsu, but I still don't have the chakra to do the others," Sakura stated to Naruto. As Naruto put it, "I figured as much." Sakura inquired, "What about you?" Sakura was informed by Naruto, "Well, I have been working on that wind jutsu I am creating." Additionally, Naruto said, "I am almost done. All I need to do is add chakra manipulation in order to perfect it. But so far it has been impossible for me to do it," Naruto stated to her. As they reached the second floor, Sakura remarked, "I am sure you will get it eventually." Naruto noticed a boy pleading for admission. Sasuke's two teammates gave him a dumbfounded look as he said, "Hey, you are all losers if you can't tell this is a genjutsu." Naruto struck his forehead with his palm. Naruto chided, "And how did you get Rookie of the Year?" As he moved through the crowd, Naruto said sardonically, "You do realize that you increased our competition?" After recognizing Naruto, the Konoha shinobi moved away from him. Sakura followed Naruto closely as they strolled. Stopping abruptly, Naruto seized a foot that was almost an inch from Sasuke's head. Naruto released the boy who had just been pleading, saying, "I would appreciate it if you didn't attack my teammate even though I have been tempted to do what you just tried. Oh, and next time you want to fool someone, put a genjutsu on the Hyuga's eyes." I could tell he had the Byakugan immediately. Naruto continued. Naruto commanded, "Let's go," and turned to leave. It wasn't long before the strange boy reappeared. He looked at Sakura and trailed off, "Sasuke Uchiha. I am Rock Lee, and I challenge you to a duel." Naruto watched as Lee materialized before Sakura. Sakura nodded when Lee asked, "Are you Sakura Haruno?" You are so beautiful, will you go out with me? Lee responded. I promise to always protect you. I am sorry, Lee, but I am not interested in dating right now, Sakura responded. Sakura felt somewhat guilty when Lee said, okay, with a hint of disappointment. As Lee cheerfully nodded, Sakura said, how about we go get some lunch sometime to get to know each other better? Lee recalled his purpose and shook his head. Lee turned to Naruto and said, oh yes, I am here to ask Sasuke Uchiha to a duel. Lee glanced at Naruto, who was not listening. With a bored tone, Naruto questioned, oh, you were talking to me? Head bowed to Lee, Naruto declared, I am Naruto Uzumaki. I'm curious as to whether all of Kakashi Sensei's pupils are this cool. With anime tears streaming down his cheeks, Lee pondered as Sakura and Naruto perspired. Sasuke exclaimed, I thought you wanted to fight me, instead. Naruto smirked and remarked, do you know what, I am in the mood to watch Sasuke get his ass handed to him. As the two left, Sasuke remarked, like this loser will beat me. Sakura and Naruto observed Sasuke being kicked about in front of them. As they watched Lee take off the bandages from his hands, Sakura was shocked to hear Naruto say, and to think he is holding back. Naruto noticed that his fists were bruised and scarred. When Naruto saw what Lee was doing, he tensed up visibly. As Lee kicked Sasuke into the air and then leapt up after him, Naruto declared, this is over. The bandages were wrapped around Sasuke, but a spin wheel flew through the air, struck the bandages, and adhered to the wall, leaving Lee hanging. Sakura questioned, Naruto, what did you mean by he was holding back? She heard Naruto say, Lee is wearing weights. As they gazed at a giant turtle, Naruto clarified, he was using the Iron Fist stance. It is the only stance that uses the 8 celestial gates to augment their attacks. The attack Lee was going to use on Sasuke opens the first gate. As they watched a man who resembled Lee emerge on its back, Naruto added, it is said that if a civilian was to open all 8 gates they would become as strong or stronger than the Hokage. But opening the gates has consequences, you will rip muscles, break bones, tear ligaments. But when you open the last gate you will die, Sakura was told by Naruto. Naruto informed her, but there is one way to survive opening the gate of death. As Sakura watched the man punch Lee and then embrace him, Naruto explained, only one person every 200 years are born with the 9th fabled gate, the Gate of Resurrection. It changes all the chakra you gain from releasing the 8 gates into healing chakra, healing the body of all damage. A sunset appeared behind them as they watched. He trailed off, Sakura is that as Sakura attempted, but was unable, to release the genjutsu. As Sakura attempted again while covering their eyes, Naruto yelled, hurry, it is being burned into my memory, instead. Sakura said, I can't release it, Sakura nodded, and Naruto remarked, that was scary. The older man said, I apologize for my student's rudeness, Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto said, you say something? As the man's face was streaming with anime tears. Even his pupils are awesome, the man pondered. Naruto heard Guy say, I am Might Guy. Naruto replied, ah yes, the green beast of Konoha. And you would be the Black Death of Konoha, Guy replied. Naruto approached the fallen Uchiha and roughly raised him up, saying, well, I have to drag my teammate to the first exam. Naruto said to the Uchiha, I hope you now realize that there are people who can kick the crap out of you, and they don't care about your surname. According to Sasuke, shut up. You will always be my eternal rival, Naruto Uzumaki, shouted Lee. As he left with Sakura right behind him and Naruto over his shoulder, he said incoherently, okay. Sakura shrugged and Naruto asked, what is an eternal rival? Sakura remarked, I have no idea. As they arrived at 2 enormous double doors, Sakura said to Naruto, maybe Kakashi knows. Kakashi had materialized in front of them. I am happy to see you 3 decided to take the exam. Kakashi replied. He inquired, what happened to Sasuke? Kakashi was informed by Naruto that he fought Rock Lee. Naruto inquired, by the way, do you know what an eternal rival is? Kakashi exclaimed, oh god, tell me none of you accepted the offer. As Kakashi moaned, Naruto remarked, I did. Naruto was informed by Kakashi, you will know soon. When the 3 entered the room and saw hundreds of genin, Kakashi remarked, good luck you 3. When Naruto saw all the genin, he whistled. Sakura nodded, and Naruto remarked, wow, this is a lot of genin. Naruto glanced around and noticed his girlfriend and friends nearby. Naruto guided his group in their direction. Kiba had been bothering Hinata. Kiba said, come on Hinata. Chan, just one date. Hinata stated plainly, I already said no, come on, it isn't like you are seeing anyone, Kiba replied. They were all shocked when Hinata said, "Actually I am." As he laid Sasuke on the ground, Hinata approached him and said, "Right Naruto-kun?" Naruto replied, "Yup." Hinata reprimanded him as she untied the cloak, saying, "But you know how I hate you wearing that cloak indoors." Naruto cautioned, "I don't think that would be a good idea." However, Hinata disregarded his warning and untied the cloak, pulling the hood back to show off his long, blonde hair in a ponytail. His hair was spikier and 2 locks framed his face. Ino yelled, "Holy shit, when did Naruto become a hunk?" while Sakura merely gazed. Naruto cautioned, "I don't suggest taking my cloak off Hina. Time." However, she disregarded his warning and removed his cloak, revealing that he was shirtless. He had a toned and muscled chest. As girls began to approach him, the two heard thuds and squeals. In an instant, Hinata turned and gave Naruto a passionate kiss, shocking their friends and causing the new Naruto fangirls to moan. After Hinata withdrew from the kiss, Naruto questioned, "Him, who knew I had so many fangirls?" A murmur from Hinata said, "More than you think." Then Naruto questioned, "How do you know?" With a slight flush, Hinata muttered, "I was the president." Shino stated without emotion, "I was wondering when you would come out and say you were dating Naruto Uzumaki." Then Naruto questioned, "How did you know?" The two blushed at the implied meaning of Shino's response, which was, "My buds could smell your scent on her." Sakura asked perilously, "Naruto, what have you done with Hinata-chan?" "Nothing," cried Naruto. At the same time, Hinata said, "Well, we did sleep together last night." She blushed after realizing what she had said. "I swear," she cried, "all we did was sleep." Sakura said perilously, "Naruto." 2 arms were wrapped around Naruto's chest. Temari was clinging to Naruto when he turned his head. Temari smiled and said, "Hello, handsome." "Why me?" As Hinata turned to glare at Temari, Naruto pondered. All of Hinata's friends, including Naruto, were taken aback when they sensed a subtle yet powerful hint of killer intent seeping from her when she said, "Let him go." She said perilously, "He is mine and no one else's." Naruto moved behind Hinata after escaping Temari's hold. Naruto overheard Ino admit to Sakura, "I do have to admit Naruto looks delicious, and if he wasn't taken I would definitely go for him." "What am I doing?" Naruto pondered in his mind. "It could be an additional consequence of our complete mergence," QB informed Naruto. As Temari stomped off, Hinata nestled into Naruto's chest and he muttered, "Oh joy. What took place?" Naruto pondered. "Hinata Chan mentioned that you would be her husband," QB replied, causing Naruto to flush. A man in the front shouted, "Okay, you lovebirds, stop the show," and all the genin turned to look. As the man let out his murderous intent, Naruto calmly said, "Hey Ibiki." The killer intent did not even faze Naruto. But Ibiki snarled, "Naruto," he said, "Okay, everyone, take a seat." As he and Hinata made their way to a number of vacant seats, Naruto remarked, "Ya, no need to release that killer intent." Girls sat around the two and gazed at Naruto with a dreamy expression. As Hinata and Naruto disappeared in 2 puffs of smoke, he trailed off, "Okay, stop star," to reveal Sakura and Ino sitting where the two had been. Ino questioned, "What the, how did we get here?" Groaning, Sakura explained, "Naruto's special shunshin." Sakura clarified, "He can teleport anyone he wants to." Naruto was seated near the back when the girls turned to look around. They stood up. As he told the group of girls, "Once seated you cannot move." Ibiki gave Naruto a fierce look for making a fuss. As Chunin were passing out the tests, Naruto scoffed and gave me a very mean look. "No need to glare at me, Ibiki. Chan." Naruto's cold, emotionless gaze was meeting Ibiki's lethal glare. Ibiki threatened, "Maybe I should fail you now." Naruto said, "If it means I don't have to see your ugly mug, I don't care." In other places, the head of Enbu Interrogation heard Naruto say to a group of Junin and the Hokage, "If it means I don't have to see your ugly mug, I don't care." Kurenai said, standing beside Asuma, "Wow, Naruto-kun sure has guts." Asuma said, "I think he wants a death wish." Kurenai told her crush, "Oh, I'm positive Naruto-kun has something on him." As everyone in the room listened to Kurenai, Asuma asked, "What do you mean?" Kurenai shocked everyone by saying, "Naruto-kun has enough information on everyone in the shinobi program that he could blackmail anyone he wants into doing anything he wants. Luckily for me, I am close to Hinata Chan and Naruto-kun, so I should be in the safe zone along with Anko Chan and Iruka-kun. And Hinata Chan, of course." Kurenai scowled at Kakashi as he asked, "What about me?" Kurenai questioned disgustingly, "Oh, you think that you would be an exception because you are his sensei?" Kakashi put his book away and demanded, "What is your problem?" Kurenai spat at the older Junin, saying, "Oh, I think it's funny that Anko Chan and I were treating the two like students and not troubled teens. I know how you ditched your students." Kakashi insisted, "I am the only one who can teach Sasuke how to use his Sharingan." Kurenai glared at the white-haired Junin and said to Kakashi, "I still think Anko Chan made a point when she asked who taught you how to use the Sharingan." Kakashi said, "You wouldn't understand," and turned to leave. As Kakashi emerged in front of Kurenai, glaring and letting out a lot of killer intent, Kurenai questioned, "Did the fourth Hokage, your sensei, pick favorites?" Kakashi said, "Don't talk about my sensei." Kurenai retorted, "I will talk about whoever I want to." Kurenai demanded angrily, "Now answer my question, did Minato Namikaze or fourth Hokage pick favorites?" Hiruzen shouted, "This is over until I say so," to silence the two Junin. He made the dangerous threat, "One more word about this subject during the Chunin exams will be punished severely." Exam region. The test had begun, and Naruto glanced at it once before setting it aside. He could see that it was impossible to complete if you weren't exceptionally intelligent. He quickly discovered that many people were cheating. He also witnessed cheaters being expelled. Naruto contemplated the test for 15 minutes. He gave Hinata a cunning grin, causing her to become anxious as she saw him writing some notes and turning the paper upside down while concealing her Byakugan active with a basic genjutsu. She could not read Naruto's words because he had pressed his chakra into the paper. Before turning it over, Ibiki saw that Naruto had written down a few brief responses. "What is he doing?" Ibiki pondered deeply. Ibiki was glaring at Naruto, and Naruto was staring back at him blankly, as if they were engaged in a staring contest. Ibiki and Naruto had not blinked once in the 15 minutes remaining before the exam ended. Naruto kept staring and remarked, "I think it is time for the 10th question." Ibiki snarled, "There are still 5 minutes left." The calm Naruto replied, "So there is." Everyone eagerly awaited the winner of the staring contest. Ibiki turned to the group of genin and said, "Okay, since everyone is supposedly done, I will tell you about the 10th question and the different rules it has. Unlike the other questions, you can quit now and come back later." "Why would we want to do that?" screamed Kiba Inuzuka. "Because if you don't get the 10th question correct you will immediately get a 0 and be thrown from the exam." Ibiki replied with sadness. As a number of people began to panic, Ibiki declared, "And that isn't all, if you stay and get the question wrong you will be prohibited to ever take the Chunin exams and be doomed to be a genin for life." Naruto was simply staring back at Ibiki with the same expression he had maintained for the majority of the test. He saw a number of teams heading out. When he saw Naruto's hand begin to rise, he grinned. However, that smirk vanished as Naruto stood up and slammed it down on the desk, almost shattering it in two. Unconsciously, Naruto screamed, "I don't care if I am a genin for life, I will still find a way to be the best Hokage ever," in an attempt to intimidate and steal everyone. 2 more teams stood up and fled after Naruto showed off his strength out of fear of pursuing his group. Naruto was the reason the others stayed. No one stood up, so Ibiki said, "Is this how you want it? If you are wrong, you will be a genin." He trailed off, "Well, all I have to say is you," as a banner. Wielding object flew through the window. Alive's sexiest kunoichi. As he began to sink into his seat in an attempt to disappear, Naruto muttered, "Oh god no." Anko said with a sadistic smile, "You all pass." Ibiki remarked, "You are early, Anko." Ibiki was ignored as Anko declared, "I am Anko Mitarashi, the examiner for the 2nd exam." As she glanced at the gathered genin, she added, "Now if you follow me to the next exam place." When Ibiki smirked, Anko remarked, "Wow, Ibiki, 30 teams, you are going soft." Ibiki pointed directly at Naruto and remarked, "Well, it is that brat's fault." Anko exclaimed, "Oh Naru-chan." Upon seeing Naruto, Naruto reddened with shame. She said to Naruto, "Come here, Naru-chan, greet me correctly." Naruto remained motionless. She yelled, "I said greet me properly." As Naruto sank even deeper and the laughter began, she abruptly began to approach Naruto, seized his ear, and gave it a tremendous tug, causing him to yell in agony. While Anko reprimanded Naruto, everyone watched. Ibiki relaxed and took in the view. Naruto shouted, "Those photos are going public, Ibiki, you hear me, public," before Anko pulled once more. In other places all of the people looking through the crystal ball asked at once, "Photos?" "Examine," Ibiki informed Anko, "I believe it is time for the 2nd exam." As she began to drag Naruto away, Anko remarked, "Oh yes, everyone follow me." Several people were laughing. They were all at a training ground surrounded by fences. As a loud roar reverberated, Anko declared, This is training ground 44. It is considered to be the most dangerous training ground used in Konoha. Scaring the children, she added, this place is known as the Forest of Death. Stop frightening the children and release my ear, Naruto screamed as she yanked once more, causing him to yell in agony. As a Chunin began passing a piece of paper to each genin, Anko said, I will need you all to sign the waivers. This basically states that if you die in there the village of Konoha is not at fault. Anko smiled broadly. Naruto screamed, you are crazy, ow, as Anko yanked once more. Naruto yelled, you're going to rip my damn ear off, as she tugged at his ear once more. He was dragged away from the other genin by Anko, who warned him to language Naruto.kun. She said gravely, Naruto, I want you to listen to me. I know that you are strong but don't get too confident. There are things in there that can and will kill you, she cautioned. Before putting his arms around the woman, Naruto said to Anko, okay Chan. He pulled the cloak around his shoulders as he withdrew, leaving only his two cerulean blue eyes visible as his face vanished into shadow. She was told by Naruto, I will be careful. Anko tried to grab Naruto's ear once more, but he ducked away, so she said, you better be. Naruto rubbed his ear and walked back to the genin, telling her, not going to happen again. As he barely avoided a kunai, Naruto muttered, damn crazy woman. A chirp from Anko said, I heard that. As he easily avoided a kunai, Naruto muttered, geez, you would think she wasn't my sister figure. As he avoided another kunai, he exclaimed, huh. Anko gave up trying to make Naruto bleed after numerous unsuccessful attempts and turned to the genin. There is a tower in the center of the forest. You will have to get there with your team if you want to pass the exam. You will also need to get both the Heaven Scroll and Earth Scroll. This will narrow the combatants for the final exam in at least half. She informed them. And if you open the scroll before you make it to the tower, let's just say you don't want to do that. She murmured. At her, Naruto shook his head. Now go retrieve your scrolls and go to a gate. They will release on my go, she told everybody. Sakura nodded in response to Naruto's nod and proceeded to the location where they were distributing scrolls at random. They left in the direction of an empty gate. Hidden behind a tree was Naruto. Sakura said, Naruto, what are you doing? I don't know what she has done, but I am sure it will be big, warned Naruto. Sakura nodded and hid beside Naruto, adding, I know her very well, something will happen when she starts this exam. Sasuke stood beside the gate, sneering. When Anko yelled, begin, and 20.1 consecutive explosions were heard, Sakura and Naruto saw Sasuke fly through the air next to them and crash into the tree. Naruto told him, suit yourself. He covered his ears. When the boy approached him and saw that he was unconscious, Naruto said, I tried to warn you. Sakura looked at Sasuke and asked, Naruto, what will we do? Naruto remarked, while examining Sasuke for wounds. Sasuke was slapped awake by Naruto, who said, no worries, he just hit his head. With every slap, Naruto repeated, wake up Sasuke. Eventually, Sasuke awoke to flaming cheeks. A furious, why do my cheeks hurt, he demanded. Sakura laughed when Naruto said, I do not know. Sakura followed Naruto as he leapt through the gate, saying, but anyways, let's get moving. After a moment of rubbing his cheek, Sasuke frowned and followed the two. After 2 hours they had been leaping as quickly as Sasuke could for the past 2 hours. Sakura stopped beside Naruto as he thought, 2 hours till dark. Naruto declared, we will camp here for the night. Jokingly, what, tired? Sasuke asked. No, I have enough energy to stay up for around 7 days training without stopping. Naruto replied. As Sasuke scowled at Sakura, Naruto remarked, but we would have made more ground if we didn't have to slow down because of someone. Naruto told Sasuke bluntly, wrong person Sasuke. As Sasuke glared at him while using the Sharingan, Naruto added, Sakura and I could have gone faster but you wouldn't be able to keep up. As his eyes grew red and slitted, his whisker lines deepened, his teeth grew and sharpened, and his fingernails grew longer, Naruto asked, is that supposed to scare me? As his eyes returned to their normal state, Naruto remarked, you are not the only one with a dojutsu. Naruto gave the order. Sakura set up a tent. Naruto stated, I will get wood and Sasuke can start a fire. Sasuke demanded angrily, why'd I start the fire? After receiving an order. Naruto sarcastically remarked, well, I don't know, maybe because Sakura is an earth user and I am a wind water user. As he crossed his fingers and created 20 clones, Naruto said, Shadow Clone Jutsu. They separated and went in search of dry wood fragments. Sasuke scowled at the spot where the real Naruto entered the forest. Sasuke muttered, damn bastard. Sakura cried out, Earth style. Area descend. As the earth closed. When Sasuke turned to face Sakura, he saw walls forming around her and the ground beneath her beginning to sink. As she performed the jutsu once more and created a fire pit, she thought, well, this should be deep enough. Sasuke inquired, where did you learn that? As Naruto's first group returned with a bunch of wood and puffed away, Sakura explained, Naruto gave me a scroll with this on it. The real Naruto hasn't returned yet, and it had been roughly 2 hours since he created the clones, but this continued until they had a significant amount of wood. Concerned, Sakura inquired, where is Naruto? Sasuke sat beside the fire he had built and said, like I care? Sakura gave the Uchiha a fierce look. By the way, what other jutsus do you know? Maybe if they are strong I will go on a date with you. Sasuke continued. She wouldn't miss this chance, Sasuke reflected. The boy became enraged when Sakura shot back, like I would tell you. As she made her way to her tent and sealed it, Sakura added, I wouldn't care one way if you offered a date if I have to buy one with jutsus. As Sakura left the location she had created, she declared, I am going to look for Naruto. She could hardly see when she stepped outside. As Sakura waited for her eyes to acclimate to the darkness, she thought, this will be difficult, his cloak is black too. She began to move slowly in the direction Naruto had taken. After about half an hour of walking, she discovered Naruto using his katana to viciously battle a girl. The girl swung her sword at Naruto, but Naruto parried it, with the words, you are good Kyuubi brat. As Naruto jabbed with his katana, she added, maybe I should take that katana from you. Naruto snapped his katana back to deflect an attack that was headed for his chest, saying, like hell you could wield this. Naruto jumped back. Tell me, you have to be at least Chunin level to go toe-to-toe with me, Naruto replied. The girl said, maybe I am just a very good genin. As his arm began to blur, leaving red streaks where it was going, Naruto uttered, I highly doubt that. The girl sank into the ground after saying, unfortunately I have to be going. Naruto turned to Sakura and snarled. Naruto stared at her and demanded, Sakura, what are you doing here? She was too preoccupied with the battlefield before her. As she examined the damage, Sakura remarked, I came to look for you. Naruto sheathed his katana and strode past her, saying, come on back. She saw that his eyes were slitted and blood red. Sakura questioned, Naruto, do you have a keke genkai? Naruto followed her back to the encampment and said, of sorts I guess. Naruto's eyes turned back to blue as he stated, we will depart at sunup. 5 a.m. the morning after Naruto had been awake all night waiting for that grass shinobi to return. Naruto was certain that the shinobi would return eventually, and he was certain that it would be sooner rather than later. Who or what might that individual be? Gazing at the dying fire, Naruto pondered. In order to douse the fire with water, Naruto made a hand gesture and pointed his finger at it. As he approached the tent that Naruto had sealed to keep Sasuke out, he thought once more, not many people can beat me. He explained that he didn't trust him to leave Sakura in the tent by herself. The Uchiha were enraged by this. Naruto gave the tent a slap. He said, Sakura, it's time to wake up. He then approached Sasuke and gave him a foot kick to startle him awake. As he observed the sun barely peeking over the horizon, Naruto uttered the words, time to wake up. Naruto pondered, we have roughly 17 hours until nightfall. Naruto stated that, we will try to get the scroll today. As Sakura left, Naruto said, anyone have a plan? We come across someone, beat them up, and take their scroll, Sasuke said smugly. Both Naruto and Sakura gazed at him. Okay, any good plans? Naruto asked, subtly disparaging the boy from Uchiha. Sakura said, we could set up traps. Additionally, Sakura stated, we could use the forest's creatures against people. When Naruto heard something, he remarked, that is a good idea. Naruto disappeared in a black globe, whispering, Shah. He reappeared outside the building that Sakura had constructed. He was entirely out of sight in the shadows. He noticed 5 rain shinobi squads approaching them covertly. After disappearing in his globe, Naruto resurfaced inside the building. Naruto whispered, 5 squads are sneaking up on us. Sakura nodded as Naruto positioned himself between her and Sasuke, allowing her to perform a few hand signals without Sasuke mimicking them. We will set up an ambush for them, Naruto whispered again. When she placed her hand on the ground, the 3 began to sink into it. Naruto had created 3 clones, 2 of whom became Sakura and Sasuke. While the Naruto and Sasuke clones appeared to be sleeping, the Sakura clone entered the tent. Sakura pressed her other hand to the ground as Naruto nodded to her, causing 2 of the walls to bend and expand backward. Naruto crossed his fingers as Sakura gave him a nod. As he created clones that filled the tunnel Sakura had created with his clones, Naruto muttered, "Shadow Clone Jutsu." Naruto closed his eyes and put one hand on each wall. The vibrations from the shinobi's feet were palpable to him. Inside the building, all 15 shinobi were skulking in the direction of the clones. After removing his hand from the wall behind them, Naruto raised it and lowered one finger at a time. As soon as he made a fist, Sakura swiftly turned the ceiling entirely to dust, and Naruto's clones charged at the rain shinobi. Sakura navigated the chaos, eliminating any rain shinobi that stood in her way. The shinobi were all tied up and knocked out in a matter of minutes. Sakura and Naruto discovered that each squad had both scrolls while they were looking for them. Sakura questioned, "Why did they attack us?" Naruto pocketed all the scrolls and told her to take out some of the competition. Naruto stood up straight and scattered all the clones, saying, "Come on, let's get going. Our fight definitely attracted a lot of attention and we are in danger." Arrogantly, Sasuke said, "You scared of a few shinobi?" With a hint of nervousness, Naruto said, "Yeah, let's go with that." A howling could be heard approaching them. Naruto yelled, "Let's go," and bounded off, Sakura following closely behind. Sakura questioned, "Naruto, what was that?" Naruto's eyes darted around before he said, "I don't know and I don't want to know." When a sudden gust of wind blew toward them, Naruto slashed the feeble wind attack in half with a clap of his hands in front of him. Naruto glanced around before focusing once more on the grass shinobi. Naruto stared at the woman and said icily, "I was wondering when you would come back." Although the girl's leak of killer intent was amazing, Naruto was unfazed. The girl's killer intent was crushed when Naruto began to release his own. Naruto put his hand on his katana and asked, "What do you want?" As Naruto became defensive, the girl said, "Kukuku well Naruto-kun, I just came to talk with Sasuke-kun." Naruto's eyes narrowed before he lunged forward and used his katana to attack the grass shinobi. Naruto began to block and avoid every attack from the shinobi. However, Naruto was aware that the shinobi was playing tricks on him. "What should I do?" While the girl grinned, Naruto pondered. Naruto was sufficiently shocked when the grass shinobi said, "Oh well, the seal becomes visible when you tap into its chakra." The girl yelled, "5 elemental seal," as she slammed her hand into Naruto's stomach, causing him to cough up blood and fall to the ground motionless. The shinobi turned and smirked viciously at Sakura and Sasuke, who stared at her in wonder. She said, "Well Sasuke-kun," before attacking him. With his Sharingan active, Sasuke was unable to follow the shinobi's movements. Abruptly, he was hurtling toward the wall. The girl smirked as she said, My, if this is what the elite Uchiha clan is reduced, I am saddened." Sasuke became enraged. "Good," the girl thought, "just a little more rage and I can put that seal on him." The girl added, Maybe I should wake up Naruto-kun and fight him again. He did much better last night though." This gave the Uchiha boy the killer intent she desired. She grinned before her neck grew and shot in Sasuke's direction. She was going to bite Sasuke in the neck, but a katana stopped her. As he aimed for the shinobi's long neck, Naruto exclaimed, "Don't think I am out." She slammed her fist into Naruto's stomach, causing him to cough up blood once more, but this time he did not faint. The shinobi said, "Oh ho, you are quite feisty, but with your secondary chakra sealed away you are a weakling." She then kicked Naruto's head side, sending him headfirst into a tree. Naruto was completely knocked out by this. As she released even more killer intent, freezing the two in place, the shinobi remarked, "Now that he is out of the way, it is time for you, Sasuke-kun." A seal was created when the shinobi's neck reached out and sank her fangs into Sasuke's neck, forcing her tainted chakra into it. As Sasuke collapsed unconscious, the girl sank into the ground and uttered, "Now I am done." Sakura was shocked to see how easily Naruto had been defeated and was glancing between him and Sasuke. She shook her head and began dragging Naruto over to a tree whose roots were partially above the ground, providing a cover that was out of sight. She saw the odd mark on Sasuke's neck and pulled him under it as well. As she began to lay out paper bombs, smoke bombs, and genjutsu traps that would drive the shinobi away from them, she thought, "I have to set up traps for anyone who attacks us." After 20 hours, the two boys hadn't even woken up 20 hours after the altercation. The only movement Naruto made was tossing and turning. Every now and then he would clutch his stomach and scream in agony. Sakura revealed a faintly glowing seal beneath his shirt when he pulled it up. "What is this seal?" Before Naruto seized her wrist in his sleep, Sakura pondered. To free her wrist from his hold, she had to exert a great deal of strength. She noticed a squirrel preparing to set off one of her explosive tags as she peered across the clearing in front of the natural shelter. With quick thinking, Sakura threw a kunai that struck the squirrel directly in front of it, frightening it and causing it to flee. Sakura exhaled a sigh of relief, but it was fleeting as 3 shinobi approached her after landing in front of the shelter. Oh, what should I do? She pondered. She was exhausted, having not slept for 20 hours. She left the shelter and stood at the doorway as the shinobi approached her. What do you want? Asked Sakura. The man wearing bandages smirked and said, well, our master told us to kill Sasuke. The male other asked, can I get this girl? As his gaze swept over Sakura's body, he remarked, it has been a while since I had a little fun. The group's female member was unable to find the right word and said, geez, you were so. The girl went on to say, let me take her, we haven't had a good fight in a while. The man with the bandage looked at them and remarked, Kin beat this girl fast. Her smirk was insane as she asked, can't I have a little fun? As she attacked Sakura, Kin continued, I like beating these wannabe kunoichi that bring a bad name to all kunoichi. Although Sakura had repelled the other girl's attack, her weakness and diminished chakra reserves ultimately caused her to collapse to her knees. The girl grabbed Sakura's hair and said, like I said, you are nothing. Nothing. Sakura's mind repeated that word. I am not nothing. As Kin pulled out a kunai and prepared to bring it down to Sakura's throat, she thought angrily, but Sakura grabbed a kunai of her own instead. Sakura screamed, I am not noting, and then sliced off her own hair, causing Kin to stagger backwards from the unexpected movement. The kunai was blown away after Sakura threw it at Kin. When Sakura felt cold steel against her throat, Kin angrily said, oh now I am mad, and immediately stopped. Naruto, cried Sakura in relief. Naruto stated, I am extremely angry about 2 things. Naruto informed the girl that, one is threatening my friends and the other is waking me rudely. Naruto pressed the blade closer to the girl's throat and threatened, maybe I should kill you. The girl began to tremble. With a dangerous tone, Naruto said, leave now before I change my mind. They shiver in fear at the sight of his cold blue eyes. However, when an evil chakra was being released from within the shelter, that fear was unfounded. When Naruto's gaze strayed to the shelter, he saw purple chakra gushing out of it. What is that? As he watched Sasuke fly through the air more quickly than Naruto had ever seen him approach a shinobi, Naruto thought. In an instant, each arm was held behind him and his foot was between the shinobi's shoulder blades. There was a cry of agony and a sickening pop. Naruto's eyes widened as he noticed the marks on his face and neck. Naruto screamed, Sasuke, stop! As the boy turned to give him a menacing glare, he appeared prepared to assault Naruto. Shut up, Naruto! Sasuke snarled at him. Naruto knocked Sasuke unconscious by moving too quickly for him to follow. The marks moved back as Sasuke sagged. A scroll was placed on the ground by the group leader. The man said, we will give you this and you let us go. 6 earth scrolls and 5 heaven scrolls were visible when Naruto reached into his cloak. Naruto remarked, I think I got plenty. Naruto commanded, now leave. As the man picked up his fallen teammate and leapt away, dropping the scroll in the process. Sakura collapsed from exhaustion as Naruto turned around. After picking up the scroll, Naruto approached Sasuke and gently lifted him onto his shoulder. He then did the same to Sakura. As he leapt away in the direction of the tower, Naruto thought, my chakra control is out of whack, I can't perform a shunshin. As Naruto abruptly disappeared in a burst of speed and was traveling through the forest at an amazing speed, the person believed they were being watched. As he moved, Naruto thought, my speed has decreased too. And why am I unable to get in touch with Kyubi-chan? Naruto was traveling quickly through the forest and could make out the tower in the distance. Naruto made it quickly to the tower and no one could see him moving. Naruto sensed his strength ebbing away once more. As he accelerated once more, Naruto thought, oh god, if I can't get there in time, we are doomed. He was now traveling so quickly that he was barely able to avoid trees that stood in his way. He could see the tower coming quickly. As he moved, Naruto thought, just a little longer. Naruto landed in front of the tower after making one last leap. As Naruto walked, his legs grew weaker. Naruto stumbled to the gate and muttered, just a little longer. He pushed it open feebly and walked in Sakura's direction, causing Sasuke to fall from his shoulders and land on his knees. As the edges of Naruto's vision began to turn black, he thought, I have to do something. Reaching into his cloak, he took one of the numerous scrolls out and unfolded it to reveal a word. He revealed a phrase by opening the other. The last thing he saw before he fell forward was his name being called and smoke rising from the scroll. Anko was outside training grounds 44, relaxing on the top of the building. At the moment, she was concerned about Naruto. She was anxious because she was aware of what was in the forest and feared that Naruto would suffer a negative outcome. The terrified Chunin ran up to her, but she was too preoccupied to notice. The Chunin hesitantly asked, Anko-san? To get the woman's attention. Anko demanded, what? The Chunin said, why? You were in. Needed S. Somewhere. As Anko leapt in front of him, he nervously added, it is versus. Very important. Anko was becoming irate. Anko yelled at the terrified Chunin, well, show me where to go. And he immediately fled. He was being followed by Anko. The terrified Chunin did not need to guide Anko to the three bodies, all of which lacked faces. Anbu noticed Anko's paleness while she was near the bodies. Anko commanded, go tell the Hokage about this, and then sprinted full speed in the direction of training grounds 44. She tried to speed up, but the wind was whistling past her. She arrived at the training grounds and entered it quickly. She was searching everywhere for a particular man. Suddenly, a kunai was aimed at her head, and she had to dodge it. She turned around to see Orochimaru, her former sensei. At that, she growled, Orochimaru. Well, my little Anko-chan is all grown up. Orochimaru grinned savagely. Before attacking Orochimaru, Anko snarled, don't call me that. He simply laughed, though, and sidestepped all of her blows. Orochimaru said plainly, you know I placed the seal on someone. Anko gasped and said, oh god. Orochimaru said, oh, don't worry, I didn't seal your precious little brother. He had a strong sense of murderous intent and said, but maybe I should with the seal and that demon he would be unstoppable. As he avoided Anko once more, Orochimaru questioned, my did I hit a nerve? She was blinded by anger, so it was simple. Anko instantly fell to her knees, grabbed her neck, and let out a painful scream when he made a hand gesture. Orochimaru reassured her, saying, now that you have calmed down. Do not worry, I will not seal that weak brat. He added, and I don't care if you tell Sarutobi Sensei about me. And then he left the crumpled Anko. Before he sank into the tree, he added, oh, and Konoha will burn. Despite the pain in her neck, she gasped, I must tell the Hokage. Weakly, Anko stood up and began to stutter toward the forest's edge. When she reached a wide clearing, she was encircled by 5 enormous animals. Anko thought, I can't beat them all, and then he passed out. After 2 hours, Anko had spent 2 hours away from home. She had her head resting on a warm, comfortable pillow. She heard giggling as she curled up against the pillow. Anko heard Kurenai, her best friend, ask, Anko-chan, how do you like Iruka-kun's lap? When Anko's eyes opened, he saw that Iruka was flushed. She immediately sat up and was unable to look at anyone in the room. When she recalled everything, her head jerked back up. Gazing at the elderly man who looked like a grandfather, Anko declared, Hokage. Sama Orochimaru has returned to the village. He gave a nod. Sarutobi remarked, I figured as much when I saw the bodies. Anko cried out, we have to cancel the Chunin exam. Anko's mouth opened as Sarutobi said, we can't. As Anko closed her mouth, Sarutobi clarified, if we do that we will show weakness and that will decrease missions and a chance another village will attack us. Oh, and Orochimaru said he sealed someone. Anko replied. Kakashi stated, that would be Sasuke Uchiha. Kakashi went on, don't worry, I secured it with a seal. And you didn't tell me? Demanded Sarutobi. Anko exclaimed, he must be pulled from the exam. Kakashi said simply, I thought that quick actions would be best. Anko confronted Kakashi and demanded, do you know what that seal does to a human? When active, any person is more likely to kill someone no matter how nice they are. And while activated, the seal destroys the human brain, making them go insane. Said Anko. The only reason I am sane is because I refuse to use the seal. Said Anko. Anko angrily told Kakashi, I know what Sasuke is. He will use that power to get what he wants. It doesn't matter if you place a seal on it, all that does is lessen the pain he feels. It doesn't stop the voices in your head that tells you to kill someone. Anko continued. She sensed 2 arms firmly encircling her. She didn't feel the same urge to kill this person as she usually did. A male voice that she was all too familiar with whispered into her ear, calm down, Anko-chan. She relaxed and melted into the warmth of the embrace. I agree with Anko, Sasuke must be pulled from the exam, said Kurenai. I promised Sasuke that if he let me place a seal on him he could participate in the exam, Kakashi replied. Sarutobi said, Kakashi, I will speak with you after this test. As they walked away, Sarutobi said to Kakashi, I will decide if he continues or not. Kurenai took Asuma's hand and pulled him away, saying, I think we will leave too. To which Iruka replied, how do you feel? Then Anko said, a little pained. Anko went on, I apologize for making you feel embarrassed. Iruka smiled at her and said, don't think about it. Anko blushed slightly as Iruka asked, why do you chase me all the time? Fearful of rejection, Anko muttered, I like you a lot. Iruka questioned, well, why didn't you tell me, instead of rubbing against me, in front of my students, chase me around the village and threaten all the women I have ever dated? Iruka responded. With an immediate clap of her hands over her mouth, she confessed, I was afraid of being rejected by the only guy the first love. Iruka's lips pressed against hers interrupted her, I didn't mean to Tay. She was so taken aback by his abrupt movement that she eventually began kissing him back. The two eventually parted ways. Iruka whispered to her, his lips grazing hers, oh, and if that kiss didn't say it loud enough I love you too Anko Midarashi. Without hesitation, Anko put her arms around his neck and gave him another kiss. When she thought of something, more like someone, it was the happiest moment of her life. As Anko said, oh god I completely forgot. Is Naruto okay? Anko inquired anxiously. Orochimaru said he didn't seal him but I don't trust him I have to see Naruto, she yelled. Do not worry I checked Naruto. Hokage. Sama said that he has the 5 elemental seal over the 8 trigram seal and dead demon seal. Iruka replied with a sigh. She muttered, relieved that Naruto was unharmed, oh thank god. Anko nodded, took Iruka's hand, and guided her to Naruto's room. He is still unconscious but if you want I can take you to him. A girl with pale skin and shoulder length indigo hair was straddling Naruto and making out with him when they opened the door. Right now, his hands were up her shirt's back. At the scene, Iruka blinked. When the girl moaned his name, Anko's eyes widened and her mouth opened wide. Anko screamed, what the hell is going on? And the two teenagers immediately split up. They were both flushed. Well, she insisted. Embarrassed, Naruto cried out, we were kissing. Anko pointed to the bulge in his pants and said, well you're not so little lit friend says otherwise. Hinata's eyes widened and her blush intensified as she looked at Naruto. How will that fit in with me when we do it? Hinata's blush multiplied tenfold as she thought this. Naruto questioned, what are you criticizing us for? As Iruka flushed, Naruto continued, at least I don't do sexual things to her in front of children. I remember I had to explain to Konohamaru what you two had done. Asumi didn't know how to explain it to him. Naruto continued. Iruka inquired, what did you tell him? Naruto remarked, that you two were wrestling. With a sigh, Iruka said, good. Iruka grimaced as Naruto grinned and said, oh don't thank me I promised his mother you would tell him all about sex when he is old enough. Naruto pointed to the entwined hands of Iruka and Anko and said, now leave Hina. Time and I to our business and I will stay out of yours. He trailed off, pointing at Anko, saying, and I won't tell the Who village that you have a soft side, and you. Naruto trailed off, pointing at Iruka, saying, have an S&M fetish. Both of them turned red. How is he aware? Iruka pondered. With a menacing tone, Anko said, you better not say anything. Naruto grunted and walked away from the two teenagers, saying, you don't see or tell anything and I won't tell the village those things. Naruto drew Hinata back onto him and asked, now where were we? Before they shut the door, that was the last thing they saw. Using a fake tear to wipe away her eyes, Anko remarked, my little Naruto-kun is growing up. Laughing, Iruka said. As he began to blush and stammer, Anko whispered into his ear, you know you didn't deny the S&M fetish. As she pulled him toward the rooms, she whispered, don't worry, I like it too, master. How did I get myself into this situation? As she dragged him into a sparsely furnished room, Iruka pondered. Anko said sultrily, what do you want me to do master? Currently, Hinata and Naruto were lying in the bed that had been assigned to him. They were both almost completely nude. On Naruto's chest, Hinata rested her head. Neither cared, but neither knew how they got to their underwear. Hinata purred, come Naruto-kun, it's almost time to get up. Grimly, Naruto muttered, 5 more minute Hina, Haim. You wouldn't want someone walking in on us again, do you? Replied Hinata. As Hinata removed her head from Naruto's chest, he said, fine. When the door slammed open, she began searching the room for her clothes. Sakura trailed off as she noticed the two's condition. Naruto. She glanced at Naruto and noticed similar marks on his body after blinking a few times at the hickeys on Hinata's body. Sakura screamed, Naruto. You pervert. At Naruto. Hinata had hurried to cover herself by diving under the blankets. As Hinata began to experience flashbacks to the previous night and turned red, Naruto reassured her, Sakura, calm down, nothing happened. Sakura cried out, then why does she have hickeys on her chest? Together, Naruto and Hinata reflected, good thing she can't see through the fabrics. Naruto remarked, so we were kissing. Naruto climbed out from under the covers and began putting his clothes on, asking, what else would a boyfriend and girlfriend do? Naruto put on his shirt and remarked, I think you should leave so Hinata Hime can get dressed. The door slammed, and Naruto heard it. As she poked her head out from under the covers and took in her surroundings, Naruto reassured her, it is safe Hinata Hime. Hinata said, this was your fault. You had to get all frisky last night. As he tossed her clothes, Naruto remarked, I do think it was you who started it because you chose to take a shower with me. As she reached for her clothes and put them on, she began to flush from the memories. Hinata defended herself by saying, I just thought you would need help washing your back. Hinata shrugged as she stood, and Naruto said, and that includes kissing each of my whisker marks and my neck. As Hinata watched Naruto put on his cloak without raising the hood, she confessed, that might have been for me. As Naruto shrugged, Hinata remarked, if my memory serves me correctly, you did your own touching and kissing. Naruto made the girl blush by asking, what can I say, you are irresistible? Come on Naruto-kun, we have to go before Sakura assumes something is happening, said Hinata. As Naruto observed Hinata shifting her hair to conceal her hickeys, he said, okay. When he opened the door, Sakura was kneeling with her ear to the door. As the girl eeped, Naruto questioned, you call me a pervert when you were listening to Hinata and I? Sakura stammered, I.iti. Isn't W. What I.itl, looks L, like. As he passed her, Naruto said, right. Her eyes widened as Naruto said, please don't spy on me again or I will tell Sasuke about that little hiding place you have in his apartment. Naruto-kun, you seem to know a lot of things about people, do you know anything about me? Replied Hinata. Naruto grinned at the girl and said, of course, but you are my Hime and I would never use it. Grinning, she put her arms around his torso. She inquired, what is it? Naruto reached down and touched her ear. Which one? Murmured Naruto. As the girl's mouth fell open, her eyes widened, and a flush began to appear on her face. Naruto whispered, the time you practiced using your Byakugan's X.ray vision on me, or the consequential aftermath of that practice. But do not worry, that will never make it to the public through me, that is a promise. Naruto told the girl, who was flushed. Did he witness me do that? Hinata pondered, what did she do? Inquired Sakura. Naruto stated, also truthfully, she made a plushie doll of me. Sakura exclaimed, wow. You saw it before Sakura, remember the sleepovers at Ino's house? Replied Hinata. Sakura remarked reflectively as the three entered the enormous arena, oh yeah. Naruto glanced at the assembled genin. Wow, so much has happened, Naruto reflected. Too many for the finals, he repeated to himself. Sarutobi remarked, thank you for joining us, Naruto-kun. As Hinata flushed and buried her face in Naruto's chest, Naruto remarked, you know, rough night last night. Sarutobi remarked, I hope you spent it alone. As Hinata eeped, Naruto said apathetically, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Sarutobi turned to face the gathered genin after simply shaking his head. Since there are so many genin that passed this test, we will need to have a preliminary round, Sarutobi stated. What? Exclaimed Kiba. That isn't fair, weren't the last two tests hard enough? As Naruto put it, Kiba shut up. Naruto walked away after examining each team, saying, the reason for the preliminary round is that there are too many genin for the actual finals. There will be hundreds of VIPs watching the finals and having at most. Calmly, Naruto remarked, it would take a long time for 20.1 people to fight. Naruto bowed his head and Sarutobi said, well said Naruto-kun. So we will have a match that will cut you in half once again. Sarutobi nodded as a Chunin asked, mind if I tell the rest? I am Hayate Gecko. I will be the proctor of the finals and now the rules will be the same for each. Death, knockout, or if I deem the opponent unable to battle will result in a win. He continued. Naruto held up his hand and said, anything goes in these matches. Naruto said, can I talk with Sarutobi? Gigi? The Chunin nodded, and Naruto remarked, it will only take a second. Sarutobi and the other Chunin leapt up alongside Naruto. Gigi, I have a 5-pronged seal over my 8. Trigram seal on my stomach, could you remove it? Asked Naruto. Sorry Naruto-kun, but I am not good enough to remove that seal, but I do have a friend coming soon and he will remove it for you. Sarutobi replied with a nod. Naruto lamented, well that sucks, my chakra control is like when I first became a genin again. He then leapt back to the ground. Kiba asked, what did you want to forfeit? But Naruto turned his back on him and moved to Hinata's side. Hinata questioned, Naruto-kun, what is it? In response to Hinata, Naruto said, "Oh, nothing, Gigi can't remove the 5 elemental seal on my stomach." Hayate said, "Pardon me, lover boy, but may I go on?" Naruto noticed the Junin blushing a little and remarked, "You just want to continue so you can go see Yugo.ne-chan." Kabuto held up his hand and Hayate said, "Ahem, if anyone wants to drop out now, say so." "I would like to drop out, my left ear is deaf and I got pretty beat up in the last test," Kabuto stated. Then Hayate said, "Fine." As the screen settled on 2 names, he said, "Your names will be displayed on that screen and only myself and the 2 participants can be in the area." As Hinata grabbed hold of Naruto just before he disappeared in a gust of wind and resurfaced on the stands, Hayate yelled, "Sasuke Uchiha and Yoroi Kato, everyone else leave the arena." Hinata questioned, "Why didn't you use the Void Shunshin?" "I need a lot of chakra control to do that one, and with that seal on me I have low to none chakra control." Naruto clarified. "The elemental Shunshins I know take less chakra control." According to Hinata, "Oh, that is cool. If you want I could teach you the water Shunshin." Naruto replied. Naruto informed her, "You have more than enough chakra control to do it." Hinata stated, "I would like that Naruto.kun." They turned right as the fight started, and Naruto said, "Let's watch the match." Naruto remarked, "Wow, Sasuke really knows taijutsu." Hinata laughed. Every time the man touched Sasuke, Naruto sensed that his chakra was waning. Naruto thought, so he steals chakra like Shino. Sasuke shouted, "Fire style! Fireball jutsu!" just before a massive fireball blasted Yoroi. Although Yoroi managed to avoid most of the attack, the fireball caught his left arm and leg. Yoroi fell to the floor in pain. Hayate approached Yoroi and gave him a look. As he watched Sasuke begin to sway and Kakashi effortlessly catch him before he hit the ground, Hayate declared, "Yoroi Kato is unable to continue, Sasuke Uchiha is the winner." Looking at the screen, Hayate thought, "I highly doubt he used that much chakra." He awaited the removal of the genin. As he watched Shino land on the arena floor with ease, Hayate remarked, "Shino Aburame and Zaku Abumi come down." As he observed the two, Hayate thought, "The Aburame clan is weak with taijutsu, and with the other kids' broken arms, this should be an interesting match." "Begin!" he exclaimed, seeing Zaku take one arm from his sling and aim it at the motionless Shino. As a gust of wind lashed out at Shino, who instantly turned into a bug, Naruto declared simply, "Shino has won." Zaku was kicked in the back by Shino, who emerged from behind him. "How do you know?" inquired Hinata, as she followed his instructions and discovered that Shino had already placed some of his weakest bugs in the tubes on Zaku. Naruto said, "Activate your Byakugan." As Zaku withdrew his other arm, she observed, "I saw one of his bugs fly over to Zaku." He pointed them both at Shino and launched his assault, but all that was visible to onlookers was blood oozing from his arms. Hinata buried her face in Naruto's chest after gasping. Naruto rubbed Hinata's back and remarked, "Ouch!" His arms exploded at the elbows. As the medics took Zaku away and Shino ascended to the deck, Hayate declared, "Winner Shino Aburame." Shino remarked, "You have become very observant, Naruto-san." Naruto shrugged. Naruto grinned at the other boy and remarked, "It was easy to tell when you won when you already plugged his other arm up." As Naruto watched Kankuro and Masumi Tsurugu descend, Hayate remarked, "Kankuro and Masumi Tsurugu come down." Masumi immediately stretched and encircled Kankuro's body as he said, "Begin." Masumi grinned visibly and said, "Give up, I can crack your neck at any time." Everyone heard a loud crack, and Kankuro said, "I won't lose to you." The man smiled, released his hold on Kankuro's body, and watched as Kankuro remained upright. Suddenly, a puppet was visible as skin fragments began to fall off Kankuro's body. The real Kankuro emerged as the bundled puppet on the puppet's back abruptly unwrapped. Immediately, the puppet opened its chest and drew Masumi inside. As 6 blades emerged, Kankuro declared, "He has lost." Hayate announced, "Winner Kankuro." As he searched for the next competitor, as the 2 girls came down, Hayate yelled, "Sakura Haruno and Ino Yamanaka come down." "I am going to show how weak you are, forehead, and I will take Sasuke's love," Ino replied. Sakura said, "Go ahead and take him, pig." Sakura responded, "If you know any powerful jutsus I am sure he would love to take you on a date." Naruto laughed at her. When Sakura and Ino heard the words, "Sakura Chan, may your flames of youth burn brightly," Sakura's cheeks blushed a little. Naruto had begun to laugh at this point. Ino questioned, "Who is that forehead?" Sakura said, "None of your business, pig." The 2 girls nodded, and Hayate said, "Are you two done?" as the two threw themselves at one another and began a taijutsu battle. Hayate said, "Begin." It was evident to all that Sakura had defeated Ino in a taijutsu duel. After a minute of fighting, Sakura punched Ino in the stomach, sending her flying backwards. Ino skidded to a halt a short distance away. Sakura was unaware that Ino had completed a brief series of hand signals. Ninja art. Mind-body switch. Ino cried out as Sakura was struck by the jutsu and Ino's body fell to the ground. As Ino coughed up blood and leapt to his feet, Naruto remarked, "Ino will be thrown out in 3, 2, 1. Hinata inquired, "How did you know that?" As he spoke, Naruto remarked, "Sakura has strong mental strength." When Hinata noticed Sakura going through a series of hand signals she recognized, she said, "Oh." Hinata gasped and said, "Naruto, you didn't." As equally astounded, Naruto remarked, "She told me she didn't have it down." Sakura exclaimed, "Cherry blossoms," after completing the genjutsu. Ino questioned, "What is going on?" as hundreds of Sakura trees emerged. As cuts began to appear on her body, she heard Sakura whisper into her ear, "Your loss." The genjutsu quickly faded, and Ino swayed, her body covered in numerous cuts. Just before the two fell backwards unconscious, Sakura was struggling to breathe. Sakura was caught by Naruto, who emerged from behind her. Since Sakura was beginning to stir, Hayate declared, "Double knockout, neither participants will continue." She grinned as she glanced up at Naruto. "Did I do good?" said Sakura. As the two disappeared, Naruto declared, "Good, but I think I am going to get in trouble." He had her in his arms and had placed her against the wall just as she fainted once more. Naruto turned to see Kurenai, Kakashi, Sarutobi, and Anko approaching him. Naruto got up and faced them. Kakashi said, "Naruto, you are in trouble." Naruto turned to face Anko, Kurenai, and Sarutobi and remarked, "Like I care what you say. Yeah, I know teaching Sakura the shadow clone jutsu is bad, but I know she has enough chakra control and reserves to make one clone." Naruto replied. According to Kurenai, she could have died Naruto. She went on to say, "She is only a genin." Simply put, Naruto remarked, "So am I, but I can make hundreds, sometimes thousands of clones." Sarutobi remarked, "You are a different circumstance." Naruto questioned loudly enough for Hinata to hear, "Why? Because I have QB in me?" The four of them gazed anxiously at Hinata, who was utterly unconcerned. Naruto continued, "Oh, she knows about QB." "Yes," Sarutobi replied, "that is precisely why. Well, I can sense the amount of chakra people have and I know her chakra control levels and I knew she could handle one clone." Naruto responded with defense. Anko questioned, "You can sense chakra? No wonder I can't beat you up anymore." Naruto inquired, "Can I watch the matches?" Naruto uttered the words, "I want to know about my competition." Sarutobi said, "Fine." Before leaving, he added, "But we aren't finished here." Tenten's back bent in an almost impossible way as she fell onto Temari's fan, and Naruto turned to see it. Naruto uttered, "Damn." As Naruto nodded, Hinata informed him, she uses Wind Naruto.kun. As Naruto watched Shikamaru and Kintsuchi make their way to the arena, he said, "Thank you." Naruto inquired, "How many plans do you think Shikamaru knows?" As they watched Kin hurl Senbon at Shikamaru, Hinata remarked, "At least 100. Hinata remarked, "Genjutsu user." Naruto nodded, and they observed as Shikamaru's shadow made contact with Kin's. With a bored tone, Shikamaru said, "Shadow possession success." He then made Kin walk to the wall behind her and slammed her head against it, causing her to faint. Shikamaru remarked, "Troublesome women." Hayate exclaimed, "Shikamaru Nara winner." As Shikamaru made his way back to the stands, Naruto Uzumaki and Kiba Inuzuka come down. He said. With a sly smile, Naruto leapt to the arena floor. He landed gracefully on the ground as his cloak flowed around him. Temari looked at Naruto with hearts in her eyes as his cloak settled around his feet as he stood up. Hinata snarled loud enough for Temari to hear, "Damn fangirl." "What was that?" inquired Temari. Hinata told Temari, "I said, damn fangirl." In an attempt to stop the nearly inevitable catfight, Sarutobi said, "Ladies, please be quiet." Before facing the arena, the two said, "Yes Hokage, Sama." Hayate said, "Are you two ready?" Kiba remarked, "I am, but I don't know if the Dobi is." Naruto remarked, "Like I am scared of a mutt and his master." Kiba shouted, "Akamaru isn't a mutt." Kiba became enraged when Naruto calmly stated, "I wasn't calling Akamaru a mutt." Kiba screamed, "Start the match, I want to kill him." As Kiba demonstrated a series of hand signals, Hayate said, "Begin." As he fell to his knees, Kiba declared, This will be over in one move. Kiba yelled, four-legged jutsu, before vanishing and striking Naruto. They saw Naruto seize both of his hands and slide back a short distance. One move huh? Inquired Naruto. Before disappearing, and Kiba barely managed to stop an attack that sent him sprawling to the ground, Naruto remarked, I could see you moving. As Orochimaru attempted to assist, Naruto disappeared once more and attacked Kiba repeatedly, saying, my speed has decreased too. Naruto gazed at the battered Kiba, who was somehow still standing, and remarked, wow, this is so boring. Kiba gasped, I will take Hinata from you. As Kiba threw a soldier pill to Orochimaru, who began to flush and leapt onto Kiba's back while making a hand gesture, Naruto remarked, bad thing to say Kiba. He yelled, man-beast clone, as Orochimaru transformed into a replica of Kiba. Kiba screamed, dual-piercing fang. As Orochimaru and Kiba began to spin in his direction, a huge gust of wind was created by Naruto's yawn and wrist flick, knocking Orochimaru and Kiba into the wall and rendering them unconscious. Naruto stuck his tongue out and slammed his head, saying, Ops forgot my chakra control sucks. Hinata shook her head and laughed at her boyfriend. As the medics arrived and picked up Kiba and Orochimaru, Hayate declared, winner Naruto Uzumaki. Leaping up to the observer's deck, Naruto stretched his back. Naruto remarked somewhat with disappointment, I wanted to toy with him some more. As Temari glared daggers at Hinata, Hinata grinned and gave him a hug, saying, oh Naruto-kun. Hinata stuck her tongue out at Temari as she glared at her over Naruto's shoulder. As Hinata reluctantly withdrew from Naruto, Hayate called out, Hinata Hyuga and Neji Hyuga, please come down. Like Naruto, she leapt to the arena floor and landed with grace. She turned to face her cousin. Hinata saw Neji.ni.san glare at her and said, hello Neji.ni.san. Neji spat out, Hinata. Sama. In an attempt to capitalize on her lack of confidence, Neji said, you should give up, you are a weakling. With composure, Hinata declared, I am not giving up Neji.ni.san. Hinata stated that, you can begin the match at any time. As Neji dropped into the standard Hyuga gentle fist stance, Hayate said, okay, let's get started. Hinata lowered herself into a softer Hyuga gentle fist position. Neji insulted him by saying, hey, you can't even do the stance correctly. As Neji assaulted her, Hinata retorted, that is because this isn't a regular gentle fist stance. Hinata was dealing her own blows to Neji while deflecting and dodging Neji's blows with ease. While Hinata has not yet activated her Byakugan, Neji had done so at the start of the battle. When Hinata's foot sprang out, knocking Neji off balance, her Byakugan instantly activated and her stance lowered. Hinata exclaimed, water gentle fist style, 60. 4 water palms, as water sprayed onto her hands as she launched the attacks, locking down Neji's joints and snuffing out his chakra points. She felt her power pulse after completing the attack. Naruto's eyes widened up in the stands. As Hinata collapsed to her knees, Naruto grabbed her head and exclaimed, oh god, it is happening. As Naruto gazed at the two, he thought, please let that attack leave Neji incapacitated for long enough. As Hinata's head snapped back, Naruto felt a tremendous amount of chakra suddenly release from her. Come on, Hinata-chan. Kurenai cried, what is happening to her? As they observed the chakra-forming wings on her back, Naruto declared, she has activated the Tenshi Byakugan. Ah! Hinata cried out as bones and flesh began to grow on her back and the backs of her coat and shirt tore apart. Feathers of indigo began to grow on her back wings. Kurenai demanded to know, what is happening to her? The Tenshi Byakugan can only be activated by someone with a kind heart, and we all know that Hinata is the nicest person that you would ever meet. Naruto stated. As the chakra began to fade and the wings spread out to a total of 6 feet on each side, Naruto remarked, the nicer the person, the greater the power she will get. As Naruto saw Neji beginning to stand up, he remarked, her power level is now close to my own. Hinata folded the wings onto her back. Whatever became of me? As Hinata turned on her Byakugan, she realized that her blind spot had vanished and that her field of vision had tripled. She felt something on her back and got to her feet. She noticed the 2 indigo wings behind her. Instinctively, Hinata used her wings to block Neji's attack as she turned right. She used the wings to knock Neji back and launched another attack. Hinata screamed, water gentle fist style. 120. 8 water palms. As she struck the gullible Neji, causing him to collapse to the ground with all of his joints flooded with water and all of his chakra points close. Hinata was taken aback since she could never perform those attacks in succession without depleting her chakra significantly. Hayate was taken aback by Hinata's transformation. He gave a headshake. Seeing that Neji was immobile, he declared, Winner Hinata Hyuga. Naruto was up on the deck, cheering. She pivoted and leapt elegantly to the deck. Her now bright violet eyes were fixed on Naruto. After giving her a smile, Naruto gave her a hug. Hinata questioned, "You are not stunned, how come?" Naruto remarked, "I knew you would activate the Tenshi Byakugan." Hinata inquired, "What is the Tenshi Byakugan?" "It not only advances you Byakugan turning your lavender eyes to bright violet ones, you gain wings, and your chakra has skyrocketed," Naruto stated to her. With her hands on her hips, Hinata questioned, "And you didn't want to warn me?" "Well, it is normally activated when you are 15 or 16. Naruto replied. Naruto said to her, "But I guess you were just too kind." Hinata smiled at him and said, "Well, I suppose I am." She asked anxiously, "How do I look with wings?" Naruto caressed her wings and whispered in her ear, "Even more beautiful." Hinata whispered back, "Thank you Naruto-kun." She then gave him a kiss while embracing him with her arms and wings. How am I supposed to compete with that? After a moment of disappointment, Tamari thought about the match between her brother and a strange boy in green spandex. An. Guess who that is? Hee. As his face flushed, Lee exclaimed, "Third gate of life release." Lee's muscles and bones were tearing, and Naruto could hear it. He screamed, "Reverse Lotus," and kicked Gaara into the air. Naruto looked at his new friend and thought sadly, Lee is going to lose. Gaara's gourd turned to sand, softening his blow as the two crashed into the ground. Lee was barely conscious after bouncing across the arena floor. His face began to fall apart as he turned to face Gaara. A clone of sand. As Lee felt sand encircle his arm and leg, he thought. Sand coffin. The cold voice said. The voice called out, "Sand burial," as Lee screamed in agony. As the sand began to fly in Lee's direction, it exploded in all directions because Guy had Lee at his back. Hayate declared, "Lee is unable to continue, Gaara has won." With a dangerous tone, Guy said, "You will not touch Lee." Gaara questioned icily, "Why do you protect that weakling?" As Gaara scuffed off and left, Guy remarked, "Because he is like a son to me." As Lee was removed, Naruto gave him a sorrowful glance. The head of Hinata was buried in Naruto's chest. Naruto rubbed her back and whispered into her ear, "It is okay. It will be fortunate for him to walk again." Hinata cried, "Why did he try to kill Lee-kun?" As Hinata looked up with tears in her eyes, Naruto remarked, "Because his seal is faulty. He has the Shukaku no Ichibi, an. I am not sure if that is correct, sealed into him the one-tailed raccoon. Kyubi has told me that since she gained that spot she has been cocky," Naruto stated to Hinata. As he gave Hinata a comforting back rub, Naruto glanced at the match. He saw Choji transform into a massive boulder and roll around in an attempt to silence the shinobi. He heard shinobi stop Choji, and after a short while, Choji lost his jutsu and passed out. As Hayate called everyone down, Naruto reflected, "That wasn't spectacular." Hinata and Naruto approached, and Hayate remarked, "You will pick a number and we will decide who fight who." Taking a 1 out of the bucket with his hand, Naruto showed Hayate. With a sigh of relief, Hinata reached in and extracted a 4. Everybody went up to obtain the numbers. Okay, first match will be Naruto Uzumaki vs Gaara. Second match will be Sasuke Uchiha vs Hinata Hyuga. Third match will be Shino Aburame vs Kankuro. Fourth match will have 2 matches. First one will be Shikamaru Nara vs Tamari, then the winner of that match will fight Duso. Hayate said as he showed everyone the matches. Before disappearing, Hayate remarked, "You will have a month to either rest or train, you can pick whichever you want." So Hinata-chan want to go on a date before we go train? Naruto inquired. As the two disappeared, Hinata remarked, "Of course I would." After the preliminary stages, Hinata and Naruto had been absent for a full week. About 20 miles outside of Konoha, they were in a clearing. Hinata was being informed about the Tenshi Byakugan by Naruto. The Tenshi Byakugan, its origins isn't like the other Kekkei Genkais, said Naruto. Most come from demons like the Sharingan and the original Byakugan, but over a millennia ago an angel came to Earth and fell in love with a Hyuga. Naruto explained to her. Hinata questioned, Naruto-kun, how do you know all this?" Kyubi. "Chan told me the instant she saw you in my memory that you would activate the Tenshi Byakugan." Naruto informed her. "So she told me all about the Tenshi Byakugan, so I tellken you about it." Naruto grinned. "Now where was I?" Naruto rambled as he considered the past. "Oh yes, the angel and the human had a child that's Byakugan had change. Instead of the pupilless pale eyes that normal Hyugas have, she had bright colored eyes as yours are now." Naruto replied. Naruto informed her, but they will stay pupilless. The Tenchi Byakugan really doesn't advance the Byakugan except just increasing the range of it. The real change are those wings on your back, which after a lot of practice should be able to retract back. Naruto stated to her. As Naruto explained to her, the more times you do the transformation the less it hurts. Okay, said Hinata. Hinata inquired, how do I retract them? As Naruto put it, I don't know. Naruto informed Hinata, Chan never told me that part. But what she did tell me is that you can use your wings as a second pair of arms so you could make more destructive Hyuga gentle fist attacks. Naruto stated to Hinata. Hinata remarked, well, I suppose I can accomplish that. Well, while you develop those attacks I am going to see Gigi for a little while. Naruto stated to Hinata. She stood up and stretched a little before saying, okay Naruto-kun, I will see you in a little while. Office of the Hokage in his Cyclone Shunshin, Naruto made an appearance in the Hokage. When Naruto noticed Sarutobi and another elderly man with long white hair staring at him, he muttered, damn I was aiming for outside of the office. Sarutobi grinned and said, Naruto-kun, you have finally shown yourself. Naruto turned to face the other man and said, yeah, well, you said an old friend of yours can take the 5 elemental seal off my stomach. This him? Naruto asked. Sarutobi stated, first we want to know something. Naruto informed Sarutobi, you can ask doesn't mean I will know. Naruto nodded, and Sarutobi remarked, Kurenai brought it to my attention that you know what happened to Hinata. How? Naruto remarked, Kyuubi told me. Naruto gave the old man a glare when he asked, the demon? According to Naruto, she isn't a demon, she is the queen of summons. The elderly man remarked, well that is news to me. Naruto questioned, now will you remove the damned 5 elemental seal? The elderly man replied, sure. As the two elderly men froze, Naruto remarked, well, now I can't kick the crap out of you for peeping on my mother. Sarutobi inquired, who told you about her? Funny thing about gaining full control over the creature sealed in you. Said Naruto. You can gain memories from the previous container. Said Naruto. Now can you remove the seal so I can get back to Hinata and train with her? Naruto chuckled softly as Sarutobi questioned, there is a chance that you will have to face her in the semi-finals and you are training with her? As he raised his shirt and focused his chakra to create the seal, Naruto asked sardonically, Hinata knows all of my tricks and I know hers, so what is the use of not training together? This may hurt a little. With his chakra stuck to the ground, Naruto uttered, I know Jiraiya. Jiraiya yelled, 5 elemental seal release, as he pressed his fingers into Naruto's stomach, causing him to stoop. Naruto straightened up and rubbed his stomach, saying, okay, that hurt more than I expected. He looked at the seal. Oh, Naruto muttered, this isn't good. What? Inquired Sarutobi. Naruto handed the seal to Jiraiya and explained, Orochimaru isn't a seal master so he did the 5 elemental seal wrong and the seal is slowly weakening. Jiraiya stated, cracks have accrued in the seal. I will have to restore the seal in a few years. But nothing will happen for now. He stated to Sarutobi, hey Brad, do you want to get some good training? Naruto asked bluntly, what is your position on favoritism? Simply put, Jiraiya said, I don't like it. Before he could protest, Naruto said simply, fine then you will be training with Hinata too, and disappeared. Jiraiya remarked, well that wasn't what I was expecting. When Sarutobi noticed a note on the table, he remarked, they are quite inseparable. Sarutobi read aloud, secrets to the dreaded paperwork. Alongside Hinata, Hinata was attempting to use her wings in her attacks when Naruto returned to the clearing. As he approached Hinata, Naruto thought, she sure is pretty. Hinata said, hello Naruto-kun. To which Naruto replied, hello Hinata. Hime. Naruto smiled at the girl and said, well, I am going to talk with Kyuubi-chan about the Tenchi Byakugan. As Hinata watched him sit cross-legged and close his eyes, she said, okay Naruto-kun. The mindscape of Naruto when he opened his eyes, he saw the mental forest. He noticed a woman from Kitsune dozing off next to a tree. As Naruto approached her, he noticed a slight twitch of her nose. Naruto was there when she opened her eyes. Hello Naruto-kun, it is nice to finally see you again, Kyuubi responded. I know it was weird not feeling your chakra in my system, said Naruto. Kyuubi stated, it is simply because you were accustomed to my chakra, so what has happened while I was out? Well I beat Kiba, and have to fight Gaara in the finals. Naruto replied. Naruto continued. Hinata activated her Tenchi Byakugan abilities. And I will be training with Jiraiya. Arrow. Sennin? Kyuubi inquired instead. With thoughtfulness, Naruto remarked, that is a good name for him. Kyubi remarked, I know Kushina called him that all the time. I am going to teach you how to summon me so I can train Hinata-chan in the abilities of the Tenchi Byakugan. She stated to him. She showed him the hand signals and instructed him to do these hand signs. Bite your thumb, then press your palm against the ground. You will need to use a bit of my chakra to summon me, but in time you will be able to summon me with your own chakra. Kyubi said to him. Naruto closed his eyes and said, okay, actual world. When Naruto opened his eyes, he discovered that Hinata had huddled close to him during his mindscape. Naruto gave a few blinks. Comfy? Naruto inquired as Hinata jumped and eeped. She blushed slightly as she turned to face Naruto. She said, of course, to him. Well, Kyubi wants me to summon her so she can train you in the Tenchi Byakugan. Naruto replied. Naruto said, so how could you get off my lap? Hinata pouted a little and said, I don't wanna. With a sly smile, Naruto planted a kiss on her lips, causing her to smile back. Hinata remarked, well, I suppose I can get up for a moment. Naruto retreated. Naruto questioned, is this going to be a common thing this month? With an innocent smile, Hinata said, most likely. Naruto grinned and made the hand signals, pressing his hands to the ground to make a puff of smoke appear. Fine by me. Kyubi was standing in front of the two when Naruto turned to look at him. Hinata. I would like you to meet Kyubi-chan. Naruto replied. It's good to meet you at last, Hinata-chan. Kyubi bowed to the girl. Hinata thought, Naruto-kun never told me she was this beautiful. Hello Kyubi-chan. Kyubi informed Hinata, well, Hinata-chan, I will be your temporary sensei for the next few weeks. You might feel like you will die, but I have rarely seen it happen. Hinata hid behind Naruto, who said simply, stop scaring her. As she pulled the girl away, Kyubi reassured Hinata, come on Hinata-chan, don't worry, we will just start simple exercises today. Naruto shrugged after thinking, I hope Kyubi doesn't go too hard on Hinata tonight. Naruto had a feeling. After hearing rustling and observing Jiraiya enter the clearing, Naruto called, Arrow. Sennin, you can come out now. Good senses and, don't call me that, Jiraiya screamed. Naruto replied, yeah, not going to happen. Jiraiya informed Naruto, well, I am going to teach you a very powerful and very destructive ninjutsu. Naruto said, I do like powerful and destructive ninjutsus. Jiraiya started to perspire. So what is it? Inquired Naruto. After going over some hand signals and pressing his hand to the floor, Jiraiya bit his thumb. He yelled, summon, as a toad his height materialized. Naruto inquired, the summoning jutsu? He was informed by Naruto, I summon Kitsune. Jiraiya gave a few blinks. Jiraiya inquired, you signed the Kitsune summoning contract? According to Naruto, summoning contract, Jiraiya produced a large scroll and said, you mean you can summon Kitsune and you didn't sign the summoning contract? As he unfolded the scroll, Jiraiya added, you might be able to sign the toad summoning scroll and be able to summon both. Jiraiya pointed to the signs that the others had made and said, all you need to do is sign your name in blood and make this sign in your blood. Naruto questioned, Minato Namikaze was a summoner too? Jiraiya proudly remarked, of course, I mean he was my apprentice. Naruto made the sign and signed his name, saying, cool. The blood soaked into the scroll, and they watched. Jiraiya grinned. Congratulations, you were the first to be able to summon two different summons at once. Jiraiya replied. Jiraiya said, now for your training to begin. Oh boy. Said Naruto. Jiraiya said, I want you to gather your chakra and summon a toad. Naruto went over the hand signals and said, okay. Naruto put his hand on the ground and yelled, summon. There were two tiny puffs of smoke. One had a tiny blue kitsune, and the other had a tiny orange toad. Together, the two questioned, who would summon me, before exchanging glances. When the kitsune looked up, Naruto was there. The kitsune bowed to Naruto and said, ah Naruto. Sama. Naruto was informed by the kitsune, I am Krona no Kitsune. Naruto turned to face the toad and said, hello Krona. Hey, I am Gamakichi, the son of the boss toad Gamabunta. Kichi replied, I am in line to become the boss toad. In about 3 years I will be the size of a small house, Kichi stated. Me too, said Krona, and I will gain my second tail. Cool, said Naruto. Krona informed Naruto, well, if that is it, I will need to get back Naruto. Sama. According to Kichi, me too man. While the two summons puffed away, Naruto said, okay bye. Those two look cool, Naruto reflected. Jiraiya remarked, you need to put more chakra into it. I know, but I want to meet each size toads and kitsune as I go. Naruto replied. I don't want to summon Gamabunta on the first time. It was Jiraiya who said, good idea. Summon. Naruto cried out, pressing his hand down on the floor. There were two more, bigger puffs. The gray toad was the size of a small house, and the kitsune was the size of a cottage with two tails. Naruto caught both of their eyes. Who are you? Inquired the toad. The kitsune said, this is Master Naruto Uzumaki, you dolt. As she bowed to Naruto, the kitsune said, Naruto. Sama, I am Narma no Kitsune. According to the toad, I am Gamadodon. With a bow, Naruto said, hello, Narma and Gamadodon. Naruto said, why don't you two tell me more about yourselves? Narma informed Naruto, I am used for recon. I have the rare ability to change my size from its current size to a smaller form. I haven't mastered it like Kyubi. Sama has, but who will write? Narma replied. Naruto smiled at the kitsune and remarked, I am sure if you train long enough you will get it. Narma remarked, I am flattered you think so highly of me. Gamadodon teasingly said, stop blushing. I like most toads my size or larger is either used for speed or destruction, he stated to Naruto. I wasn't blushing, exclaimed Narma. As Gamadodon put it, whatever you say Narma-chan. Narma said, I hate you, Toden.kun. Jiraiya nodded as Naruto questioned, why'd I feel that the two knew each other before this? Gamadodon said, maybe I should sit on you like I did when we were smaller? Try it and I will bite you in the ass again. I will give you a matching scar, Narma said. Can you two dispel so I can summon the next pair? Asked Naruto. Before puffing away, Narma stated, of course Naruto, Sama. The toad said, CYA Naruto, and then disappeared. Naruto said, well that was odd. Jiraiya replied, yeah. How did you get so good of chakra control? Oh, once I learned the walking on water technique I learned how to bring the chakra I gain from my shadow clones in through just one chakra point. It increases my chakra control in leaps and bounds. Naruto clarified. Naruto informed Jiraiya, I'll be done for the day when we move on to the next set. Jiraiya said to him, I am surprised you can summon this many in a row. Naruto yelled, summon, as two more summonses materialized. A toad the size of a medium-sized house and a kitsune the size of a large house appeared. As the toad put it, how why was I summoned? Naruto attracted kitsune's attention by saying, I just wanted to meet the different toads and kitsune. Oh Naruto. Sama, cried the kitsune, I am sorry I didn't notice you before. Naruto said, don't think of it. The toad said, so you are the Kyubi's container? Be respectful. Cried the kitsune. The kitsune bowed to Naruto and said, I am Karna. I am the largest one-tailed kitsune even though my power level is that of 3 tails to low 4 tails, said Karna. Why is that? Inquired Naruto. The fox remarked, just too lazy to attempt to get the tails. Naruto remarked, you sound like a friend of mine. Well, the toad said plainly, I am Gamatara. Before he passed out, Naruto remarked, well, it is nice to see you too. Behind Jiraiya, a female voice said, well, it appears he overexerted himself. He spun around in time to see a stunning woman with 2 fox ears and 9 foxtails carrying a girl who was unconscious on her back. Kyubi. Sama, cried Karna. As the two nodded and disappeared, Kyubi gave the order, you two can go now. Kyubi said, hello Jiraiya, as she used her tails to grab Naruto. As the 4 disappeared in flames, Kyubi remarked, you have some explaining to do when we get these two to his apartment. Naruto's apartment was where they resurfaced. Kyubi shut the door behind her as she entered Naruto's room. Through the door, Kyubi called, you aren't coming in. She put the two in bed after putting them in their nightwear. When she went outside, Jiraiya was trying to get away. Kyubi said, you better not be leaving. Jiraiya stammered, N.No. Kyubi sat on Naruto's couch and said, now tell me where you were when Naruto.kun was a kid. W. Well y.us.ciiw. Was A. Always O. On T.the M. Move A.and C. Couldn't T. Take H.mw. With M.me. Jiraiya sighed. And what about that buxom teammate of yours Tsunade? Asked Kyubi. From what I know all she did was roam around gambling. W. Well, there is no excuses Jiraiya. Kyubi stated. She inquired, so what has Akatsuki been up to? Jiraiya stated gravely, they haven't started retrieving the tailed beasts yet. Well, Naruto-kun will be fighting the one-tailed Jinchuriki during the finals. Kyubi replied. If I can easily fix his seal, I will have Naruto warn him about Akatsuki. Kyubi replied. Jiraiya inquired, will Naruto be okay? The power difference between Naruto and Gaara is like Shukaku versus an ant. Kyubi replied. It would take all the Jinchurikis fighting Naruto at once to beat him. For the nine-tailed beasts, each tail is exponentially more powerful than the previous one. Kyubi clarified. Naruto's body can handle my pure chakra up to 3 tails, but if he goes into the true tailed form, he can take on all 9 tails, but there might be small physical changes. Kyubi concluded. Like what? Inquired Jiraiya. Kyubi stated plainly, fox ears and 9 fox tails. As she walked into the room and changed into a tiny one-tailed kitsune, Kyubi said, now leave Naruto-kun and Hinata. Chan needs their sleep. Before jumping onto Naruto's bed and curling up on Hinata's stomach, Kyubi threatened, I will take a piece out of your ass if you ever peep on them. Week 2. For the past week, Naruto and Hinata have been training extremely hard. As Naruto called forth various kitsune and toads to render Hinata unconscious, Kyubi would literally train him to do the same. Every night, Kyubi would have to replenish Naruto's chakra reserves and heal Hinata. Week 3. Because of their exponentially improved skills, Naruto and Hinata could now barely make it back to the apartment on their own. Up until 5 tails, Naruto had encountered all kinds of kitsune and toads. Hinata was able to retract her wings and spawn them with ease thanks to Kyubi's training. Naruto-kun Hinata. Chan, you too will have the next week off from training. You need to rest some before the finals. Kyubi stated to the two. It will allow your body to heal naturally, she continued. Naruto said, okay Kyubi. Chan. Hinata. Haim and I will finally get to have another date. Naruto replied. That is right Naruto-kun, and it is my turn to pick. Hinata responded. Hinata chuckled as Naruto questioned, did you pick last time? Hinata denied, saying, I don't know what you are talking about. Right. Naruto trailed off, scanning the girl with suspicion. Naruto remarked, nowhere expensive, buying for 4 has taken a big chunk out of my savings. Hinata cocked her head to the side. Hinata remarked, I don't eat that much, it isn't you, it was Kyubi and Arrow. Senin that made me spends the most. Naruto replied. Kyubi saying that she hasn't eaten in 13 years or something, and Jiraiya saying he has no money to buy his alcohol, which I know is bull because he is the author of Icha, said Naruto. It was Hinata who said, I know Naruto-kun. Jiraiya said, oh you two are going out? I think IWI. Like hell Arrow. Senin, this is a date, which means unless you are dating Kyubi neither of you can come, and if you do you have pay for your date. Naruto stated as the two left. Kyubi slapped Jiraiya in the back of the head and Jiraiya remarked, ungrateful brat. Kyubi remarked, well, I will use the next week to rest, and then he smoked. As he left, Jiraiya thought, great, now I am all alone. Like his father, that brat will be great in the future. Everyone was at the arena except for Sasuke and Duso. The populace was agitated. Naruto could detect Orochimaru's scent everywhere. Where is he? Naruto's eyes darted around as he thought. Suddenly, Naruto noticed feathers floating in the air. A genjutsu? Naruto pondered as he felt sleepy. With a raised eyebrow, Naruto effortlessly released the genjutsu. Naruto turned to see Kankuro, Temari, and Gaara leaving. When Naruto saw the sand swirling around Gaara, Hinata said, so you were right. Naruto nodded. As red chakra began to bubble around him and white chakra tore through Hinata's shirt, Imagine Sui Feng and Yoruichi when they enter their shunko. As her wings appeared, Naruto remarked, looks like we won't be holding back. As he fell to his knees and transformed into a massive 9-tailed kitsune, Naruto uttered the words, be careful Hinata. Haim. Naruto lunged forward, seized Gaara, and the two disappeared in flames. Many miles away Naruto sensed that something was amiss. Naruto thought, I have to return to the village. Kyubi quickly reverted to himself and said, summon me, I have more than enough to wipe the floor with Shukaku faulty seal or not. Naruto demonstrated several hand signals. Naruto called out, summon, as a giant 9-tailed kitsune reappeared. Go Naruto-kun, you have a fight that you need to do in Konoha. Kyubi replied. As Naruto nodded and leapt away, Kyubi thought, I hope Naruto will forgive me for not telling him. Kyubi questioned, so you think you can beat me Shukaku container? Alongside Naruto behind him, Naruto sensed people rushing up. After thinking, enemies, Naruto focused his chakra and disappeared into the void Shunshin. Around Konoha, Naruto could see Hinata's blessed jutsu being used. As he disappeared again and again in the void Shunshin, Naruto smirked and thought, she sure is powerful. Hinata yelled, blessed art, angelic wings, and hurled a massive burst of light at Naruto. Naruto yelled rapidly, darkness art, arc of darkness, as the two attacks clashed and struggled for supremacy. Looking around, Naruto muttered, damn Hinata. Hime. Naruto questioned, what is happening here? Hinata declared, sand and sound has launched attacks on us. Hinata yelled, blessed art, feather daggers, as she killed a couple of sound shinobi with some of her feathers. They outnumber us 12 to 1. Naruto yelled, wind style, blade cyclone, as he killed 4 sound shinobi with a cyclone. Then Naruto said, Kyuubi is fighting Gaara right now. Where is the... Naruto trailed off, experiencing a wave of familiarity. Gazing at the purple cube, Naruto muttered, oh god no. Hinata was right behind him, her wings flapping frantically to keep up with Naruto as he instantly disappeared in a burst of speed. Naruto dropped the purple cube onto the building's roof. A hand stopped Naruto before he could touch the cube. Uzumaki. That is unwise, this barrier burns anything that touches it, and Anbu responded. As he grew and fur covered his body, Naruto growled softly and declared, then I will crush it. Now, the 9-tailed fox was back in Konoha, but this time it was blonde. The cube barely withstood the enormous weight when Naruto dropped a large paw on it. Naruto rumbled as he looked up and leapt, this barrier is stronger than I thought it would be. Each shinobi paused to observe Naruto disappear. A blonde sphere suddenly fell like a stone and struck the barrier, igniting flames all around. The barrier began to crack before it was abruptly shattered into thousands of pieces. Before Sarutobi fell too far, Naruto changed back to his initial form. Naruto, his eyes welling with tears, questioned, why old man, why did you use that jutsu? Weakly, Sarutobi stated, I had to protect the Leaf Village Naruto. He noticed that Naruto had blood-red eyes. Before the Sound 4 and their master disappeared, Orochimaru said, Kuku Kuku Naruto.kun, I have a surprise for you. Naruto roared, Orochimaru, as red chakra began to boil all around him. Before going limp, Sarutobi uttered the words, Naruto. Watch out. Just as Naruto rolled out of the way, 2 figures struck the ground. Naruto straightened up and rolled onto his feet. All he saw when he turned to face his assailants was long, bright red hair and blonde hair with spikes. Naruto muttered, no, as the red chakra departed him. She said, hello Naruto.kun. As the 2 figures rose, she added, I wish we didn't have to meet in this way. As he stood up, the blonde added, you have grown so much Naruto.kun. All of the Konoha shinobi who could see the 2 figures paused and gazed. Once more, Naruto muttered, no, the man said, Kushina-chan, I don't want to fight him. Kushina said to Minato, I know Minato.kun, neither do I. Hinata roared, blessed art, thousand feather barrage, as she attacked Kushina. Kushina had stopped the entire attack with ease. Speaking as she landed beside her beloved, Hinata declared, Naruto.kun, you will not fight alone in this fight. Kushina and Minato were struggling to resist the control, and Naruto could see it. Kushina questioned, who is this Naruto.kun? Naruto declared, this is my beloved Hinata, Hime. Minato, losing control, asked, Hitomi-chan's daughter? We don't have much longer to talk. Hinata, this is my fight, you have to stay out of this. Naruto replied. Kushina gasped as he pulled out his katana and added, these 2 are the strongest shinobi ever. As Naruto nodded, Kushina questioned, is that the Uzumaki katana? As Minato and Kushina attacked Naruto, Kushina remarked, well, good luck, my little boy. He was thwarting the assaults. As she unwittingly struck him with her katana, Kushina thought, he is already a master at the katana. Naruto thought, Dad hasn't used the Hiraishin no Jutsu yet. When Naruto saw something, he had another thought. He must be struggling to avoid using that jutsu. Before he cut through one of Minato's kunai, he thought, he isn't using his tri-pronged kunai. Naruto's eyes were closed. As he extended his katana, Kushina thought, he can't possibly know that jutsu. Naruto remarked, I am sure mom knows this jutsu. The true Kaden, Naruto exclaimed as he began to spin, severing Minato's final kunai and causing Kushina's katana to sustain a deep gash. Minato's face was softly smiling. You will become strong Naruto.kun just like me. No, not like me, you will be stronger. Minato spoke softly. Naruto wiped a few tears from his eyes and said, I guess I will. Naruto avoided a Minato attack and deflected a Kushina attack. As he persisted in defending himself against his parents, Naruto thought, they're faster than me. As Naruto defended against the two, searching for a gap, he was formulating a strategy. As she launched her attack, Kushina remarked, you will have to attack us at some point Naruto-kun. Now, Naruto pondered. Before holding his arms out to the sides and feeling Kushina's katana and Minato's kunai pierce his stomach, Naruto uttered the words, I don't want to kill you but I will have to. Naruto put his arms around the two and coughed up blood on them. With blood streaming from his mouth, Naruto uttered, I love you too. Then, he stabbed Kushina and Minato in the bases of their heads upward with a kunai and katana, severing the anchor seal in their heads in two. Tears filled his eyes. As she felt her spirit departing, Kushina remarked, we love you too Naruto-kun. Minato remarked, my son, protect Hinata. Shan with your life. The two fell backwards. With a mighty roar that halted the fighting, Naruto tipped his head back, still holding the kunai and katana in his stomach. Naruto, Hinata muttered as her stomach sank downward. Naruto roared into the air, his tears running down his cheeks, I will make you pay for this Orochimaru. For everyone to see. A pair of arms encircled him from behind. Hinata looked at the wound in his stomach and whispered into his ear, Naruto-kun, I am here for you. Hinata laid Naruto-kun down and said, lie down Naruto-kun. Naruto remarked, I am fine Hinata. Hime. Dryly, Hinata remarked, Naruto, you have two kunai and a katana in your stomach. Before hurling his katana behind Hinata and driving it deep into a sound shinobi's chest, Naruto remarked, I have had worse. Naruto stood feebly, saying, I cannot stop just because I am wounded. He grabbed his mother's katana's guard and drew it, splattering blood all over the place. Uzumaki. Sama Hinata. Sama is correct you cannot fight, and Anbu responded. Naruto gasped. What did you call me? Uzumaki. Sama, it is a law that if no living Hokage is alive the most powerful shinobi will become a temporary Hokage of sorts. The Anbu stated to Naruto. And you just took out both Kushina, Sama and Minato. Sama. He continued. That makes you the strongest shinobi in Konoha. And the job of the Hokage is to protect the villagers, said Naruto. Naruto stumbled to his katana and drew it from the sound shinobi, saying, even if it means death. Before removing the kunai from his stomach, Naruto sheathed his katana. Anbu asked, what do you want us to do with Gaara? When he sensed Kyuubi's mental connection opening, he said, Kyuubi is fighting him. I lost more chakra than I anticipated, so I was unable to defeat Naruto-kun. He is approximately 5 minutes away, Kyuubi informed him. Naruto turned to face the giant form that was coming toward Konoha and uttered the words, I will have to fight him. Blood began to pour from Naruto's mouth, but he held his stomach. My chakra is too low to heal you, Naruto-kun, Kyuubi informed him. Naruto spat out some blood and said, all right. Naruto gave the order, Hinata, go to the academy and protect the students. As they nodded, he continued, free Anbu go with her. After turning to face Gaara, Naruto leapt away, leaving a trail of blood in his wake. How much blood must I lose before I faint? Naruto inquired. As he reached the walls of Konoha, Kyuubi informed him, 10 minutes at most. He came to a halt and removed his shirt and cloak, exposing 3 puncture holes in his abdomen. In an attempt to halt the blood flow, Naruto quickly wrapped up the bandages he had taken out. How about right now? Naruto inquired. As he put on his cloak and leapt away, Kyuubi informed him, it's still 10 minutes. Kyuubi informed him, you are bleeding internally, and the bandages hardly stop the blood from flowing out of you. As Kyuubi disconnected the connection, she said, now, no more talking. This connection takes chakra too, which I don't have right now. More blood was coughed up by Naruto. As he materialized in front of Gaara, Naruto thought, shit, she's right. After saying, ha so Naruto Uzumaki has finally shown up to fight me, Gaara burst out laughing. Looked at the giant form, Naruto said, I will stop you Gaara. As he avoided Gaara's sand attacks, he performed a series of hand signals. Naruto shouted, water style, water dragon jutsu, as a gigantic water dragon shot into the air. He began to make more hand signals. Naruto shouted, lightning style, lightning wolf pack, as the water dragon struck the enormous raccoon, causing the sand to become soaked with water. Gaara screamed in agony as 40 lightning wolves leapt at his dripping body and electrocuted him. Naruto extended his arm. Naruto yelled, wind style, great cyclone, as a cyclone flung Gaara's sand out of his way. Naruto was breathing heavily. As he gasped, Naruto thought feebly, I don't have much left. Gaara exclaimed, nice work, Naruto Uzumaki, as the sand began to swirl around him once more. Playing possum jutsu. Gaara slouched forward and exclaimed. I am free! Shouted Shukaku. As he put his palm to his stomach, Naruto thought, I can't beat her alone. As he began to make a series of hand signals, Naruto thought, please work. Naruto shouted, summoning jutsu. As a massive cloud of smoke materialized. With the bleeding getting worse, Naruto thought, shit, that took up most of my chakra that I have left. He had been controlling the bleeding with his chakra. Naruto clutched his abdomen in agony. Shukaku bellowed, it appears that I will be having froggy legs for lunch. Boy, you sure do know how to pick your enemies. I mean, come on the Shukaku, replied Gamabunta. According to Naruto, things happen. Naruto caught Gamabunta's attention. He asked, what happened to you? Before avoiding a Shukaku airstrike. Naruto coughed up blood as he said, I had to fight my mom and dad. Weakly, Naruto added, I have to wake the Jinchuriki to get rid of the Shukaku. He inquired, can you hold her still? Gamabunta spit out balls of water and struck the balls of air after saying, if you haven't noticed, I don't have fangs or claws and I am not good with the transformation jutsu. Gamabunta fell backwards after one ball of air struck him after slamming through the water balls. Gamabunta remarked, hey, a couple more of those and I will be in trouble. With a sudden burst of speed, he jumped towards Gaara and yelled, here we go, brat. Naruto shouted, I don't know what to do, before focusing on a form. Gamabunta grabbed hold of Shukaku with his newly acquired teeth and claws, and a giant black fox suddenly materialized. Do it now! Gamabunta cried. As the jutsu came off, Naruto leapt off Gamabunta's head and was in front of Gaara when he was caught in the sand. Naruto shouted, this won't stop me, as he jerked Gaara awake by slamming his head into his head. As Gaara awoke, Gamabunta leapt away from the stalking form. Pulling out his giant katana, he launched himself at Gaara, slashing at the beast's form with his sword, barely piercing it. He had lost control of his katana. As he watched the sand form crumble, Gamabunta remarked, Naruto, I am running out of chakra. Gamabunta abruptly puffed away, dropping his katana in the process. Naruto and Gaara were standing on opposite tree branches, facing one another. Both were panting heavily. As Naruto watched Gaara twitch and the two charged at one another, he thought, this will be my last attack. Naruto's jaw was broken when Gaara's fist struck his stomach and Naruto's fist struck Gaara's chin. The two began to drop to the floor. On his way down, Naruto struck a few branches, slowing his descent but shattering his arm and legs. Naruto felt his ribs crack as he struck the ground. Gazing across, Naruto saw Gaara resting on his back. I must knock him out, Naruto thought feebly as he attempted to move but was only able to move his neck. Naruto dug his chin painfully into the ground and dragged himself over to Gaara. Gaara questioned, why do you try so hard? As images of people began to flash through his mind, Naruto remarked, because I have people dear to me, to protect. As he drew nearer to him, Naruto remarked, I know your feelings, Gaara, loneliness, anger, sorrow, but unlike you I found people to love. Tamari and Kankuro landed beside Gaara, who fought to escape. Gaara! Shouted Tamari. Gaara trailed off Tamari, as Tamari assisted him in standing up. Tamari, do you love me? Gaara ached to say. Of course I do, Gaara. You are my precious little brother. Tamari replied. How did Naruto-kun harm Gaara? As Tamari watched Gaara faint, she thought. She noticed that Naruto was also unconscious when she turned to face him. Naruto was lifted up when two Anbu landed beside him. The Anbu gave Tamari and Kankuro the order, you two get him to the hospital. As they leapt away, the Anbu declared, we will take Uzumaki. Sama.
That's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this great story. See you in the next one.